Daily Mail, Minister, Britain is on a war footing. So that's a Labour Minister saying we're on a war footing. The Daily Telegraph, Britain must not rely on the US for defence. Again, we are saying that we need to increase our own defence budget. The Daily Express, stop reckless strikes as NHS fights the super flu. The Mirror, World Cup of Greed. This is the cost of World Cup tickets for England fans. The Daily Star, runaway in a manger. Yeah, this is a, it's an illegal migrant who was on the run, who hid himself in a nativity scene. And it's fair to say stood out like a sore thumb. So there you go. He wasn't on the run for long. But look, thank you very, very much to my wonderful panel. I'll be back in the studio tomorrow night for a live studio audience show. If you want to be a part of my live audience, well, you can find out how to do it online via the GB News website, but go to SRO is the website, SRO, and you can be a part of whatever this is. But let's go now stateside to the Late Show Live with Bev Turner.
Thank you, Patrick. That's right. You look at the front pages from today for you guys there in the UK, and it's just be afraid of everything, be afraid of flu, be afraid of the war. It doesn't feel like that here in America. So let's entertain you for a couple of hours with some great stories here. We are going to be looking at Trump's attack on the EU, and we're going to be watching him talking live at a ball here in the run-up to Christmas. See you in a minute.
I'm Andrew Pearce. This is GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
5 hosts, 5 opinions, 5 fearless debates, 5 unfiltered takes on the day's news.
5 reasons not to be anywhere else on Saturday night.
This is the Saturday 5.
You got me good there.
Britain's biggest Saturday night TV show.
It's not a bad brand.
Yeah. Uncensored.
Very, very racy tonight on the unpredictable.
What does she say? Can you translate it for us?
And always entertaining.
And how can a country go from being led by William Wallace
Saturday nights from 6 p.m. only on GB News, the People's Channel.
Britain's news channel.
You're going to want to stay tuned, trust me.
Westminster, the ultimate clique.
And you're fighting like rats in a sack.
But here on the Camila Tominey Show, we ask the questions the establishment media is too scared to ask.
OK, let me ask you a straight question, because I know you're a straight-talking politician.
Whether it's net zero, illegal immigration or law and order, nothing is off limits.
You had the power then.
Yeah, as I
and
say,
now you've lost it.
That's the Camila Tominey Show, a politics show that's fearless.
But no, let me finish my question if you don't mind, because it is my show.
Sundays at 9:30, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk then?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
In fact, has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I ever got up?
About 10. So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m. only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
In the GB Newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK, we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News, the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
I'm Bev Turner. Thank you for joining us on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Good morning. Britain is told to brace for war.
As NATO warns the shadow of an armed conflict with Russia looms on Europe's doorstep.
We are Russia's next target. Too many don't feel the urgency, and too many believe that time is on our side. It is not.
So, is it time to prepare for a war on a scale unseen since the 1940s?
Elsewhere, King Charles records a groundbreaking video about his cancer battle that's set to be broadcast later on today.
The NHS is plunged into the worst-case scenario as a surge in superflu cases threaten to wreak havoc on the health service over Christmas.
Wes Streeting slams Labour's practical approach to government, fuelling speculation that he could challenge Sir Keir Starmer's leadership.
President Trump says some European leaders want him to take power across the Atlantic.
European nations are reporting that your president might as well be the leader of the European nations also. They listen to us and they respect us like they've never respected us before.
Almost half of teenagers admit they've missed school because of anxiety. We're going to be debating this morning if schools have gone too soft on attendance.
In sport this morning, football fans feel betrayed over FIFA's overinflated World Cup tickets. Wins for Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa in the Europa League as Celtic and Rangers lose. And Luke Littler kicks off the World Darts Championship with a win. Of course he does.
A brighter day for many today. There will be some winter sunshine in places. There is more rain to come for some parts of the country as we head into the weekend. If you've got plans, you'll want to know what the weather's doing. Join me later for a full update.
Just gone 6 o'clock, I'm Stephen Dixon.
I'm Ellie Costello and this is GB News Breakfast.
Paul.
You've done your tree, right?
Yeah.
Have you done your tree? Have you done your tree?
On the tree.
So I've got the tree. I bought the real tree, which hasn't been decorated, which is going to be done today.
Right.
I feel like you're leaving it quite late, just saying.
Do you think so? I'm a very busy man, Ellie.
I know
That's
you
the
are.
thing. I'm very busy.
You are a busy man. But 12th of December, you're not going to have it up for long.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. But anyway, lights, see, there's two problems. Firstly, you've got to get the old lights out, and they're all, you've got to try... But in what direction do you do them? Do you plug in first... Go from the bottom up to the top.
That's how I do it.
Or do you start with the top and then unravel as you go round? And do you turn the lights on, or do you wait for the big reveal at the end to turn the lights on? Because the lights on probably will help you as you get a nice, even spin around.
We start from the top and then turn the lights on at the end.
Oh.
Yeah, so you don't, because it's almost like, I can't turn the lights on yet because it would be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I turn them on to make sure they're working.
Good.
Because you never know if they've been in storage, do you?
Fine.
And then start from the bottom.
So do you keep them on as you're going?
Yes, then you can see that they're nicely spaced out.
Okay.
And then start from the bottom and work your way up. And I usually have two sets of lights, so one takes me halfway and then the other.
So do you have them all in a roll? So then you unravel as you go?
They're thrown in a bag for life, and then and then I just take them out the bag for life.
And is it a two-man job? Does Daniel hold the other, so you're at the... and then he has to walk around?
I do the walking around.
What do you do?
I don't know, actually. I think I was just asking for a bit of advice. I wanted a bit of advice.
But is there a theory behind this?
No, apparently it's... Men, I think, start at the top and women start at the bottom. I believe that to be the case.
There you go.
I believe that to be the case, so you've actually gone with it. Yeah, yeah.
I wonder why.
I don't know. But apparently this is like an... Nobody talks about this. It's kind of like a taboo. It's a Christmas taboo but there is often arguments about the lights going round. So I just wanted to...
There were such different techniques.
Well, apparently there are.
Yeah.
But I'm interested what you said about the lights, because I feel the same way. It makes it easier with the lights on, but you don't want to ruin the step back and look what we've done.
Yeah. And then once they're on, you can then tweak them.
Then you can tweak.
Yeah,
absolutely. Then you can tweak. Yeah.
But you said I needed more lights on my tree. You said, oh, it'd be nice for some lights.
See, I don't know whether 1,000 or 100 or what you go for. 500?
1,500.
1,500 lights. And what colour are they? Gold, or do you go with different colours?
No,
they have to be gold.
I like the gold.
They're white.
Do you find that a bit piercing?
I like a multicoloured light, but I've been overruled this year.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Ellie.
It's gold or nothing. It's warm or nothing.
I like the warm.
At least they're warm. They're not like cool white. They're
You don't want to
warm.
feel like hospital lights.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
You don't want that.
I like a multicoloured myself.
And do you
No, it's
tinsel
gotta be bad.
or do
No
you just
tinsel.
bauble?
Just bauble.
See, I've been told off from my wife that look, you put too much tinsel, it looks like the 1970s.
Yeah, there's
and I like
no
the tinsel.
I like tinsel, but again, I've been
don't like
overruled.
tinsel.
What? On both?
On both.
How do we
Come on,
feel
Steve.
about these bows on the top of our trees? And there's a bow at the front here you might be able to see.
They're new.
What are our thoughts?
They're like
on that?
rosettes.
They are a bit
Like a horse has just won a
So I used to
gymkhana.
I used to enter my guinea pigs into guinea pig shows, and
Did you?
yeah, and it's all
Weirdo.
and it's almost identical to the rosettes they give the guinea pigs.
That's what I thought it was rosette.
Bigger than the guinea pigs.
They would be bigger than the guinea pigs.
Do you have to trot around like they do at Crufts? And then you...
It is a bit like that, and they'd always win just to throw it out there.
Really?
Yeah, they had very good coats, shiny coats. But yeah, it reminds me of my guinea pig shows.
Yeah, I quite like them.
Do
I've got to
you?
be honest, I know you're not a fan.
I'm not a fan. I'm not.
Are you a star or an angel?
An angel.
You like an angel, not a
Angel.
star.
Yeah.
I like a star.
And
I do
funnily
like
enough, that was the name of my guinea pig.
Was
Angel.
Angel.
Wow, it all ties up just like the bow on the top of the tree to finish with, doesn't it? That's beautiful.
She's like an Essex stereotype, this one.
Yeah, the guinea pig is good.
Come on, Angel. Come on, Angel.
Angel and Babe.
Babe.
And Babe. Yeah. So anyway, on that note...
You couldn't make it up, could you?
No, you couldn't.
Make it up.
You really couldn't.
How we got from Christmas lights to guinea pigs, I don't quite know. But
You
anyway,
won't believe how long she's worked to try to lose the accent. It's a work in progress.
I've never actually really had the accent in the first place.
Comes out when she's angry, though, doesn't it?
Done it. Anyway.
Oh, dear. Right. Our main news this morning, actually, I'm glad we've had a smile to begin with, because this won't make you smile. Europe must prepare for war with Russia. That is the warning that has come from NATO's Secretary-General, Mark Rutte, who says the continent faces a threat not seen since our grandparents' generation.
Yes, speaking in Berlin, he urged nations to boost defence spending, warning that Russia could challenge NATO within 5 years.
We are Russia's next target. And we are already in harm's way. I fear that too many are quietly complacent. Too many don't feel the urgency. And too many believe that time is on our side. It is not.
Well, in Washington, President Trump likened ending the Ukraine war to a complicated real estate deal and questions Zelensky's reluctance to give up territory.
Well, we're joined now by former British Army spokesperson Major Mike Shearer. Very good morning to you, Mike. This is a chilling message from Mark Rutte, isn't it? What do you make of it?
Well, at last, someone is saying it out loud. I said on GB News, January 2024, so nearly 2 years ago, that NATO had to put itself on a war footing, and specifically the United Kingdom, which is woefully underarmed, needed to do the same. Look, the SDR, which was presented earlier in the year, the authorship of which was mainly driven by Lord Robertson, the Labour peer, he stood up in the House of Lords in, I think it was July, and he said very clearly, the United Kingdom are uninsured. We are not ready to defend our islands. And so I'm just pleased that someone else is taking this much more serious. We need to gather in the funds as quickly as we can and rebuild the infrastructure of our armed forces. Do you know, we've got nearly 4 times as many civil servants as we have in the armed forces. I think we've got 550 civil servants, 50,000 civil servants, and 147 thereabout in the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force. We are in a perilous state.
How worried should we be, though, Mike, in terms of this warning, like a 5-year timeline, if you like? Do you think we are inevitably hurtling towards a conflict, or are we in a position now where we can say, right, we'll get things built up and that will be enough of a deterrent?
I think the latter is true, but we need to move quickly. Mark Rutte says 5 years. I'm fairly certain. Well, I've mentioned this a number of times, but I know I definitely did it in January 2024. I think my estimate was 3 to 5 years. And so, time is coming in. I did speak to Lord Robertson about the SDR, which will not be fully operationalised until 9 years' time. Now, he assured me that it could be compressed. That driver could be brought much quicker. Well, I just hope that Lord Robertson is now banging on the MOD's door, and indeed the Prime Minister's door, who said glibly that, this government is ready to defend the citizens of this country, particularly at this time when Russia is looking ever more threatening. Well, look, he needs to get the money now. He needs to take it from whichever department, all departments, if need be, and just boost up our. You need to retool the whole engineering part of our country to get our tanks and guns in good order. We need to reconstitute some of our old armoured infantry regiments and cavalry regiments so that we have got a credible deterrence. Otherwise, you end up with nothing but the nuclear option. We need to get a proper conventional war-footing Army, Navy and Air Force moving now. This nonsense that we are merging all of our intelligence services, I mean, well done. But that's not going to be enough. At the end of the day, if Putin is looking and seeing that all we're doing is rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, it will not deter him. Mm-hmm. It could well be that you see salami slicing tactics coming from Russia, likely, I would suggest, into Moldova, where the eastern border there, that little slither of their country called Transnistria, they've declared independence, but they're still part of Moldova, although no international body recognizes, except guess who? Russia, who already have 1,500 troops there. So, creeping into Moldova, the next stop is probably Romania. But he's got lots of options, from the Barents Sea through Finland, down the Baltic states, into Poland. We need to get ourselves sorted and fast. So I welcome what the Secretary-General has said.
OK. Major Mike Shearer, as always, really good to get your thoughts. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
It's worrying.
It is.
It'll be interesting to hear what the government has to say about this one today, because clearly talking isn't enough. We need to see action.
We've been talking too long, haven't we?
Yeah.
So what do we do about it? How do we get ourselves on a war footing? How do we prepare? Those are questions that need to be answered.
If you want peace, prepare for war. That's the old saying, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what they say.
All right, look, on that less than cheery note, let's get a check on the weather with Alex.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Morning. Welcome to your latest weather update from the Met Office here on GB News. A grey day for a large part of England, but elsewhere we should see some spells of sunshine, a few showers into northwest Scotland, particularly this afternoon. Now, we do start fairly dull in this zone. There's a line of rain and drizzle from northeast England down across the Midlands into East Wales and parts of central southern England. That's moving away, so parts of Wales turning a bit brighter. Good spells of sunshine for Northern Ireland and much of Scotland. As I mentioned, a few showers in the far northwest. Some of that patchy rain getting to Lincolnshire down to the home counties by the afternoon. Still quite mild here. Elsewhere, temperatures close to average, 7 to 10 degrees, but probably feeling a bit fresher than recent days. But at least there should be quite a bit of sunshine this afternoon. That sunshine will turn into clear skies through the night. Staying fairly overcast, though, for East Anglia and the southeast. Some rain and drizzle here for the evening rush hour, but elsewhere, most places dry and clear, bar those showers getting into northwest Scotland. With the clear skies, though, temperatures will be falling away. A colder night tonight than many of us have been used to. The rain and drizzle over eastern parts of England will slowly fizzle out through the evening, so generally becoming dry. A few more of those showers getting into western Scotland, maybe the odd one for Northern Ireland too, but many areas dry and clear. Might turn a bit misty through the night across southern counties of England, 1 or 2 fog patches, and certainly a colder night. And yes, there may even be some pockets of frost across parts of the south to start Saturday morning. A chilly start then, again, certainly compared to many mornings so far this month, but a bright, fine day for most of England and Wales tomorrow. There'll be some winter sunshine around. Mist and fog may take a few hours to clear in the south. For Scotland, though, as you can see, we are looking at more rain coming in, and that rain also slowly creeping its way into Northern Ireland. That rain likely to turn heavy and more persistent as we go through Saturday night and into Sunday, and push a little further south into parts of Wales too. Bye for now.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
Now at 15 minutes past 6, let's go to check now on our daily reflection.
The GB News Advent Calendar, Day 12.
My name's Marcus Mack. I'm a vicar in the Church of England. During a national crisis, the people of God were given a wonderful promise in Isaiah 32, verse 1. See, a king will reign in righteousness. With the Assyrian forces outside threatening to invade and corrupt leaders inside ruining the nation, things looked bleak for the people of God. But there was hope. One day, a good ruler would come who would not use his power to oppress the people, but will reign by doing what is right in the eyes of God. A couple of good kings arose, good human kings arose, partially fulfilling this promise. But the complete fulfillment came when the ultimate King of Kings, Jesus Christ, came to earth. His birth brought in a new era of kingly rule. He always does what is right and sets the oppressed free. He came to serve his people. And even though he was God, he didn't use his power to self-advantage himself, but he humbly came to die to save his people and give them peace. This is the leader we've been looking for all of our lives. His reign is partially here today, but will not be fully complete until he returns again.
I just think it's nice that the idea of people with great power come to serve,
Yeah.
rather than be doted upon.
Well, it's the right way to be, isn't it? That's Day 12 of the GB News Advent Calendar.
Now, still to come, the Health Secretary Wes Streeting labels Sir Keir Starmer's government the maintenance department for the country. It's a bit harsh, isn't it? Is he on manoeuvres to challenge Number 10? We'll debate that in a moment.
Bold.
They are under no illusion.
Ray. Are you a human trafficker? Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get this on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines.
The smell of gasoline. Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos.
What I'm going to do now, they are throwing things out the car as we speak.
Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie's tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Westminster, the ultimate clique.
And you're fighting like rats in a sack.
But here on the Camila Tominey Show, we ask the questions the establishment media is too scared to ask.
OK, let me ask you a straight question, because I know you're a straight-talking politician.
Whether it's net zero, illegal immigration or law and order, nothing is off limits.
You had the power then.
Yeah, as I
and
say,
now you've lost it.
That's the Camila Tominey Show, a politics show that's fearless.
But no, let me finish my question if you don't mind, because it is my show.
Sundays at 9:30, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
In the GB Newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK, we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News, the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
Just time to tell you about the Great British Giveaway, and it's a goodie, £85,000 up for grabs, and it's all tax-free as well. Here are all of the details that you need.
We want to make the new year your best year yet, with a chance to win our greatest cash prize to date. A simply stunning £85,000 in tax-free cash could be yours. Cash to splash on anything you can dream of. Treat the family to that bucket list holiday you've always fancied. Get your dream car you've always wanted. Or just relax, safe in the knowledge that the coming year is on us. £85,000 is the biggest cash prize we've ever given away. It's totally tax-free, which means that every single penny of it will be yours. For another chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. The winner may be contacted live on GB News, week commencing the 9th of February 2026. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
At 6:22, tensions are rising in Labour after the Health Secretary, Wes Streeting, criticised the government's technocratic approach, saying it risks making Labour look like the maintenance department.
Yes, his remarks come amid speculation that he might challenge the leadership of Sir Keir Starmer. Of course, something he denies.
Meanwhile, pressure is growing on the Energy Secretary Ed Miliband after the EU dropped its ban on new petrol cars. That was meant to come in 2030, do you remember? And now it's left us in a position where the UK is the only country in Europe that is going to stop selling petrol and diesel cars in 2030.
Well, we're joined now by news editor at the Press Association, Theo Usherwood. Good morning to you, Theo.
Good morning to you both.
Should we start with Wes Streeting criticising Labour's leadership style? What do you make of it?
Well, I've just been going through the Daily Telegraph, and there are no fewer than 3 prominent Labour MPs, ministers, who are doing soft interviews with the paper. Of course, speculation rife, and understandably so, that there will be a move against Keir Starmer for the Labour leadership, probably after the local elections. So those who are in contention are trying to raise their profile. I've got some sympathy with Wes Streeting with his diagnosis. I think if you look at, and this is something that I've heard repeatedly, if you look at the performances of Keir Starmer, he often comes across as very wooden and unable to connect in a way that I think many of Wes Streeting's supporters certainly believe that he could. If you're looking ahead to the next general election and you're seeing the threat of Nigel Farage and you're a Labour MP or a Labour member, and you're seeing the threat on the left from Zach Polansky, you need somebody who is going to be there at the perhaps the head-to-head debates, who can come up with answers really quickly.
A bit more robust.
And a bit more robust, and somebody who can make people think twice about voting for those parties, whether it be with Mr. Polanski or with Mr. Farage. And I think many Labour MPs understand that Wes Streeting, when they look at Wes Streeting, they compare him to Keir Starmer. He compares very favourably in the way that he is able to perform on the media.
I mean, the interesting thing is with this, I mean, we know Wes Streeting denies going for the leadership and all the rest of it, but clearly the gloves are off.
Yeah, of course the gloves are off, and there's a recognition that Keir Starmer's time is limited. Labour MPs can't allow for the party to sort of bumble along at 15-16% right up until the general election, and then get to the general election and expect a different result, a miraculous result, when voters go to the polls, whether it be in 2027 or 2028. They know that they need to turn it around, and if Keir Starmer is unable to turn it around, then they need to look for an alternative. The only word of caution, of course, is that Keir Starmer will be able to stand in any contest. Number 10 have been adamant that he would stand in any contest. So it's different to the Conservative, the constant change of leader we saw there. It's harder to do. And Wes Streeting, of course, is seen as being on the right of the Labour Party. And there will be many Labour MPs who, of course, would favour somebody like Angela Rayner. Angela Rayner has kept her cards very close to her chest and hasn't said whether she's going to back Wes Streeting. But it will, I would imagine, as we head into the spring, sort of the cards will fall and Labour MPs will come to a decision about who is the best person to go into that contest. Because, of course, if they put two people up against Keir Starmer, what would inevitably happen is that if Keir Starmer stands against those two, you'd potentially split the alternative vote to the current Prime Minister, and Keir Starmer would stay in post, and that would be a disaster. So they need to be able to rally around one particular individual.
Wes Streeting also in the papers today over his handling of the resident doctors' strikes, set to go on strike from next Wednesday.
Yes.
He has put a new deal on the table, hasn't
Yes.
he? Whether or not they take it is another question, isn't it?
It doesn't include increasing the cash, the pay, but of course there are various offers to the BMA there around trying to reduce the cost of training, trying to prioritise British medics over foreign trainee doctors. I think I've got a lot of sympathy, not just for the government on this, for Wes Streeting on this in trying to sort this out, but also I think the way that the BMA resident doctors are behaving by just having the vote on Monday, strike action on Wednesday. I have sympathy for all of those other members within the NHS who want to plan their Christmas.
And are dealing with the super flu.
And are dealing with the super flu. You've got a spike, which is, you can see it in the papers today, is affecting children in to a significant extent. And it just feels like the way that this is being timed and the way that the BMA is dangling that vote on Monday ahead of strike action, we know inevitably they'll probably vote for it, is designed to cause maximum damage and maximum disruption at a time when, we all need the NHS to get back on its feet. We've had waiting lists of 7 million, and to turn it around, it's not going to be possible to do it if the BMA continues to take strike action, on the back of having got a 29% pay rise when Labour came into to power. And if Wes Streeting looks foolish for something, then I think he'll probably look foolish for having given that pay rise so quickly without attaching any strings. And then suddenly, surprise, surprise, we're in the same situation now that we were when the Conservatives were in power.
Yeah. All right, Theo, for now, thanks very much indeed.
Do stay with us. Still to come, the price of World Cup tickets as fans up in arms. Paul Coit is here telling us all about that next.
First, so, if you're travelling to work or school, here's your traffic and travel update.
Good morning, this is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. Today, drivers on the M4 westbound between Junction 46 at Langeyfellach and Junction 49 at Pont Abraham face disruptions due to planned maintenance. In Buckinghamshire, the M40 northbound exit slip at Junction 2 is closed for road management. Additionally, the M20 eastbound exit slip at Junction 12 in Kent is completely closed due to a multi-vehicle incident. Drivers should prepare for delays until lanes reopen. And on the trains, anticipate disruptions on the Elizabeth line between London, Paddington and Heathrow, and on Great Western Railway between London, Paddington and Slough. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
I'm Michelle Dewberry, this is Jubes & Co with you.
Hello everyone, Patrick Christie is here. GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Access the stories that matter to you. Take the GB News family with you on any device. And as long as you have an internet connection, tune in to GB News anywhere on the planet or beyond. GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
So he can say whatever he wants.
A straight talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk
No,
now?
that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
In fact, has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I ever got up? About 10.
So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Decisions made in Washington aren't just shaping America, they're shaping Britain too. From migration to global security, from crime to health. Whatever happens in the White House today
will be felt in your town or city tomorrow.
That's why The Late Show is live from Washington, D.C.
Cutting through the politics to show you what it all means for Britain.
The Late Show live every night at midnight.
Only on GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Exciting news. Every Friday, my Patrick Christie's Tonight Show is going to have a twist to it. We're welcoming some special guests. You. That's right, on Fridays I'm going to be doing my show in front of a live studio audience because this show is about you and what you have to say. It's going to be the same big debates, same big topics, same big opinions. But every Friday night at 9 p.m, you are invited to come on down to Patrick Christie's Tonight to be a part of the action. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Later on this morning, we're going to be debating if schools have become too soft on attendance. So do remember to have your say. You can scan the QR code on the screen now, or you can head to gbnews.com if you're listening on the radio. This is our question today.
Yeah, this is for...
You decide.
You've done the question.
Yeah.
Sorry, yes.
Are schools too soft on attendance?
I was focusing on whether you'd said that if you want to have your say, you need to be a friend of GB News.
Oh, yes. If you do want to have your say, you need to be a friend of GB News, which you can do for free.
Here's how.
Here's how.
Join the community and be part of our shows by becoming a friend of GB News. Get a direct line to join the conversations that you hear us talking about every day in our programmes by commenting on Your Say and voting in You Decide polls. Access opinion, analysis and behind-the-scenes videos as we share more from the stories that you see on TV and radio. Plus, watch our shows live and on catch-up anywhere, anytime. If you love our channel, become a friend of GB News for free by scanning the QR code or going to gbnews.com/friend. Don't just watch our programmes, come and be a part of them.
Right, 6:34, Paul is here. Good morning.
Hello.
Get your wallet out then.
God, it's ridiculous. The prices are ridiculous. I mean, we talked about it yesterday. This is for the World Cup.
Yeah.
So to go over to the World Cup, Look, FIFA, we know what they're like. You know, it's all about money. Everything's about money. It's always about dealing. And we've got Gianni Infantino, who's the president, who's aligning himself with Donald Trump at the moment. And before then, it was people in Saudi Arabia. You know, this guy. But anyway, the way that FIFA work, they always like to say it's, you know, it's all about the people and we do the football for the people. And it's, but they're pricing normal people out of going to the World Cup.
Absolutely.
So if you want to go to the final, and of course, the final, it's the most prestigious game of football there is in the world, of course, to go to the World Cup final. But the prices are just insane. So if, let's say, for example, England do get there, and there's a chance they might, if you're just a regular fan, you go and watch England games, the cheapest ticket...
A value ticket.
A value ticket, and that's probably behind a post, probably so far up, there'll be dots at the bottom, you hardly see anything. And trust me, there won't be many of those tickets either. £3,119. This is for a ticket to watch a game of football. I mean, this is outrageous.
And you have to get there as well.
This is outrageous. You've got to get there, you've got to stay there, and you, quite frankly, you're going to have to be rich if you want to go. There's no question. Supporter standard tier is $5,560, and then if you want premium tier, so this does not involve a free drink and a sandwich or anything. This is just to watch the game. A decent seat to watch a game of football, £6,615. So if, you know, it's a thing of a lifetime, you think, I want to take my kids with me, you want to go... It's virtually impossible for anybody.
If you went on your own, you're not going to get... You're not... In value, you're not going to get much change out of £8,000-9,000.
That's right.
By the time you've paid your flight and your hotel and your food and all the rest of it.
It's just, I just think it's so wrong. And I understand they want to make money. Actually, I'm saying that. I don't even get that. I don't even see the point. There's so many different ways. There's sponsors, there's TV money, there's so much money to be made. Surely, to actually go and watch these games should be a drop in the ocean compared to all the money that they make from different things, whether it be the sponsorship, whether it be the TV money, just the price of the ticket. But that's up through the roof as well. And it's a bad look, and it prices everybody out. And what they claim to do is make it available for everybody, that football should be for everyone. It's nonsense.
No.
It's
not
absolute
right.
Well, BS is the phrase that brings. I feel very strongly about it. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
No,
so whether they're going to drop them, I don't think they're going to go, oh, you know what, I tell you what, we'll make them much cheaper.
I bet they don't.
And you know what?
Because there will be enough rich people buying the tickets.
There will be, yeah. And also, the other thing is that that's the cheapest they're going to be. So when these things go on that FIFA marketplace where they take 15%, that is the price, that's the base price of the ticket. So it will go up a lot more. So it's just unfair. So when you get a game that's going on, what are the fans you're going to hear cheering? You're just probably going to hear the prawn sandwich brigade and people that just got loads of money, like but John Lennon said, waving their jewellery instead of clapping their hands. Yeah. It's going to be that.
Yeah. What do you want to do next?
I think we should mention Luke Littler because the World Darts Championship is back.
If you rattle around quite quickly these, don't they?
Well, it's a year since it's a year. It's around Christmas time.
Scary.
I know, it does go so quickly. And Luke Littler, he's knocking on now. He's 18 now.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it. He's 18. So there he is. There's Luke the Nuke. And he won. He beat Darius Labanowskis yesterday. Averaged 101 point for... Oh, what's that? Look at the watch. He's an expensive watch. But of course, he's a millionaire. He's got plenty of money.
Oh, but he only has £50 a week, remember? Pocket money.
Is that right? Is that what they do?
It's in the papers yesterday. His parents give him £50 a week.
And his parents are having a lovely time. They're probably going to the World Cup. They're going to the World Cup. Seriously, though, he's such a great player. We know that. He's the hot favourite to win. 2 ton-plus finishes, which are over 100 on 3 darts. 780s. He's on the 6-person shortlist for Sports Personality of the Year, of course. And the darts. And it's one of those things, when you watch the darts, you just find yourself completely engrossed. If you think, I don't fancy the dart, I don't know, and then watch it, and then hours go by like that. By the way, have we got some of the... I don't know whether we saw... Did we see some of the fancy dress from yesterday? Have we got... I think we put some... I'm just going to have a look at... See, everybody's dressing up. It was the first night last night, Alexander Palace. I don't know what are they?
They've got light bulbs around their neck. Very nice.
Yes. And bucket hats.
Yeah, the bucket. They're early. I don't know what they're going at.
On his head.
What's going on there? I'm not really sure.
No, they're all in orange.
Yes,
that's all
I don't really know, but at least they're making effort. Some people not making effort.
Someone's dressed as a fairy.
Yeah.
Where's Wally?
Where's Wally? Then?
Yeah, well, he's there. There he is, right? That was easy.
Yeah.
That was easy. So anyway, goes right the way up to ends just before Christmas, and then the final will be at the start of January.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Nice.
Someone dressed as a chicken there. That's very nice.
Love the darts. And I do want to mention the Winter Olympics, though.
Oh, yeah, go on.
Next week, Eve Muirhead's going to be with us next Thursday.
Isn't she the chef de mission?
She is
this time round?
She's the chef de mission.
Does it mean she's doing all the cooking?
It doesn't. I think that's the thing that really cheeses them off.
Right?
It is. Well, it's because the Olympics, the official language of the Olympic Games is French.
Yeah.
So chef de mission, it just means she's in charge of the British team.
The language of diplomacy.
So she's the boss. What, is she coming on?
She's going to be with us.
Boss?
Yeah, the boss is going to be here.
In the studio?
8:30. Well, we'll see. Maybe not, but we're going to speak to her anyway. Maybe she'll be here, but we're down the line. But 8:30 Thursday morning, talking about the Winter Olympics. Let's just have a look, see how Cortina is looking, just to get us in the mood. And also, they've promised we're going to have plenty of athletes from the Winter Olympics joining us.
Oh, wow, really?
As well as we head in.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. Isn't that
The
beautiful?
Dolomites looking beautiful.
I know, it's just a beautiful place, isn't it? And Pink Panther with David Niven in Peter Sellers, that was Cortina, by the way.
Was it?
Yeah, that was set in Cortina. So there we
Look
are.
at that. Oh, they're getting really in the mood for it then.
It's really tempting me because when you see how much the tickets are for the World Cup, I've always wanted to see ski jumping.
Oh, yeah.
I've always wanted to see it.
It'd be spectacular.
€260 to watch the final of ski jump.
Well,
that's not bad, is it?
Reasonable
That's a bit more reasonable.
Yeah.
Although he's just standing there freezing, ringing a cowbell. But there we are. Look at that. Looks like a beautiful place.
It does.
Good stuff.
So starts 4th of February until the 20th, the Winter Olympics.
Lovely. Thanks so much, Coity.
Thank you.
Right, still to come, the King has recorded a personal message about his cancer diagnosis and recovery. It's part of this year's Stand Up to Cancer campaign. Nigel and Claire will bring us all the details of that and the other stories from the newspapers today.
But first, if you're in search of some holiday sun, here's the forecast across Europe.
Ready to soak up that holiday sunshine?
Won't we need some cover?
No worries. All sorted.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
After some recent downpours, the eastern Mediterranean is turning a lot drier and brighter through the weekend. Meanwhile, off the west coast of Africa, some rain will be drifting southwards, so it could be quite showery in the Canaries on Saturday. Some showers also likely over the Balearics, particularly for Ibiza. Largely fine for Italy and some sunshine returning to Greece, although with the breeze coming down from the north, it'll stay fairly cool here. We should see the sunny skies returning to Tenerife through Sunday and Monday.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Good afternoon, Britain. Weekdays from midday.
I think a lot of you at home are going to be quite annoyed with this. Now, Tesco, the big supermarket chain, appears to have got rid of the famous Christmas trees, instead renaming them evergreen
trees.
Evergreen
There's
trees.
the evergreen tree.
Here we are. So if you're listening on the radio, these are pictures of their boxes of artificial Christmas trees without the word Christmas on them at all, instead calling them evergreen trees. There are still a number of Christmas trees available called Christmas trees.
Christmas trees,
but I think it has clearly annoyed quite a lot of people. Why do you call them evergreen trees? Can't you just call them Christmas?
Just call them Christmas trees. I call them Christmas trees even outside of the time of Christmas. If they look like a Christmas tree, I call them a Christmas tree, don't you?
Yeah, I do. And the Conservative leader of the London Assembly, Susan Hall, she's told The Telegraph, it's Christmas. It's a Christmas tree. People don't tend to put up green plastic fir trees for any other reason. It's all stupid nonsense about offending other people and other religions. Well, below that, this is supposed to be a Christian country. We have Christmas. Let's celebrate it, says Susan Hall.
Actually, other religions are not
offended
No, they're not.
by the celebration
They don't care.
of Christmas in a Christian country. You speak to Hindus and Buddhists and the vast majority of Muslims, they're not in the slightest bit bothered and actually will join in those celebrations as well. It doesn't offend them. But what you've got are marketing divisions within these big companies where you've got Tarquin and Tabitha who feel that we must, you know, do what we can do to not offend the great British public. But the great British public are the ones that are actually buying the product and they're not in the slightest bit offended.
Can I just say it offends me that we've got Christmas already and it's not December.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Join me, Nana Akua, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, you didn't say that, Dave.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
In the GB Newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK, we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News, the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
Welcome back. We're going through the papers in the company of Nigel Nelson and Claire Pearsall. Morning, you two.
Morning.
Nigel, let's start with the front page of the Telegraph. And it's also our top story today. Britain must not rely on the US for defence.
Yep, depressing, isn't it? I mean, I think it's right that we can't on the basis that Trump is so mercurial, he's an unreliable ally. So the idea that...
Why should he? Frankly, why should we rely on the United States?
Well, I mean, there is an argument for that too. I mean, basically because we always have. I mean, ever since the Second World War, the United States through NATO has always protected Europe. And you're right, we've become complacent because of that. But the big question now is, if we're going to increase defence spending, we're talking about a 2.5% rise by 27, and then 3.5% by 2030.
It's not quick enough.
It's not quick enough, is it?
But the whole thing is, it's also the money. I mean, Rachel Reeves hasn't even explained to us yet where the money's going to come from. You're talking about 60 billion now, going up to 100 billion. That's a huge amount of extra spending we've got to find from somewhere.
A fraction of what we're spending on the NHS. Can't we take some from that?
Well, you
actually aid.
Or servicing the nation's debt.
Yeah, you could, but I think we'll all get even iller rather than. Wouldn't we?
They could perhaps stop giving pay rises to their union mates and use some of that money to go into the defence budget. I mean, there are plenty of things that Rachel Reeves could do. She's not choosing to do. She's moving the money around like it's a tin of biscuits without thinking that actually you need to be a little bit more strategic. You need to look at the defence of your nation being the number one priority.
But this is £40 billion. I mean, it's not going to come from a few sort of nips and tucks from various people's budgets. You're talking about a really big kind of tax rise. Is that
the size of the black hole that doesn't exist miraculously? Is that kind of money? 40 billion.
Well, no, the black,
whichever figure you look at.
She's spending 8 billion more than she was planning to on welfare.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
I mean, maybe. You know, just a thought.
But then we're back then again. I mean, do we want the two-child benefit limit lifted or not? I mean...
No, I think a very sensible answer to that is no. One, you can't afford to do it, and two, why should you subsidise people's life choices? And this is not... We'll get into the lefty argument about, I just want people to be poor and their children to suffer, but that isn't the case. I think if you are running a deficit as a budget, which we are as a country, you cannot increase things like the two-child benefit cap for those people.
You can't blame the children for that. It's not their fault that they're in
This is where we get to, isn't it? This is the argument
we
you always come
because we
to.
keep arguing about it.
Always, will somebody think of the children? Yeah, I don't want to see children starving. I don't want to see kids in poverty.
Then agree with the idea that the cap should have been lifted.
No, I mean, this is not the conversation we're actually meant to be having.
No, I know. We're meant to be talking about geopolitics.
We are, but I think it fits into a bigger perspective that the government doesn't have a handle on the budget.
I just think with that, I hate to drag it on, but how are you...
He's not had enough of you.
How can you expect parents to be, those parents who aren't naturally sensible, to be sensible if there isn't a sort of carrot, a stick rather, to say, if you have any more children, we're not subsidising it?
Well, but I go back to the point.
So it's not the children's fault.
It's not the children's fault.
But why are the parents still having children if they can't afford them?
Well, I mean, most of those people are actually in work. I mean, so the argument would be 70% of people who will benefit.
Afford more children, why have them?
Well, I mean, the question then is, are we paying people enough? The fact we have to actually use benefits to subsidise them. I do think that people have a right to actually decide for themselves if they want children or don't want children.
If they can afford it.
But surely that's like anything in life. It's, you know, can you afford it? The answer to that is yes or no, and you make your choice. You don't expect the taxpayer then to pick up the tab.
I haven't got any children. Should I get a tax rebate then?
All the children you're funding.
Yeah, but you're not ill at the moment, but you wouldn't expect a tax rebate for the NHS, would you?
No. well,
which is sort of the point, yeah.
Well, yeah, yes.
And you may not want to spend money on defence, but you still, you still do. So there are all sorts of things that you may not like to spend your taxes on, but it's general taxation.
Right, we're running out of time. We've spent so long on that, we're running out of time. Can we, Claire, have a look at... Oh, this is still in the Telegraph, though, but about petrol cars being banned, or not?
Well, I think this is quite interesting. The EU have decided that an outright ban on petrol and diesel vehicles shouldn't be brought in because of the damage it'll do to vehicle manufacturing. And so Ed Miliband, our lovely energy secretary, fan of the solar farm and windmill, is now looking like a complete loner. With his net zero green agenda, he is now looking increasingly isolated when the rest of Europe is saying, well, actually, hold on a minute, is this a very sensible way about it? Is it going to damage the entire economy?
That all the manufacturers are actually gearing up for the switch now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're all doing it now. Everything is being translated into electric vehicles.
But the benefits of keeping petrol and diesel production, especially in this country, if Europe are looking to not have a ban on it, is that we export quite a lot of our vehicles over into Europe, so actually that's a real lifeline to those.
I mean, the issue comes back again, do we want to get to net zero by 2050 or don't we? I don't think we will, because we're constantly moving targets or abandoning targets.
But it's also going to cost us a fortune. I mean, we had the Shadow Energy Minister on yesterday, Coutinho, who was saying the speed at which we are moving. I mean, do you remember the figure she was quoting?
It would cost us £500 each per year.
Per year, per household.
Well, I mean, initially, the whole thing is that if you're going to go green, which is the direction of travel for the rest of the world, it will cost you in the short term. It'll cost government, it'll cost individuals, and in the long term...
But 25 years.
Yeah, well, it's never going to come down, is it? It's one of those things, once they start increasing it, those costs are never going to be given back.
Well, it should come down, but it won't come down immediately. It will be the 2030s before we actually see the savings in energy bills.
I'm sure people that are trying to heat their homes this winter are going to be really grateful in 25 years.
That's the problem. People don't want to spend the money now, and I do understand that.
Well, they don't have it now, do they?
Well, no, but the argument being, if you do it more slowly and sort of wean ourselves more slowly off North Sea oil and gas and all the rest of it, then actually it wouldn't cost us that money.
But the slower you go, you don't reach your targets, and that's been
the target later.
I know, by which time the globe is fried. I mean, that's the problem.
Allegedly.
Well, but if we don't get there by 2050, we're in real trouble.
Are we?
Well, it depends whether you believe in climate change or not.
Nobody else is doing it at that speed, so actually, it's not going to make whether we do it slower or not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, it depends on the nation about how important it is. For instance, in China, a very small change will make a huge effect.
Yeah.
OK. Nigel, right. Claire, thank you very much indeed.
Go and lick your wounds, Nigel, now. We've got the GDP figures coming out in just a moment. First, though, here's your weather.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Morning. Welcome to your latest weather update from the Met Office here on GB News. A grey day for a large part of England, but elsewhere we should see some spells of sunshine, a few showers into northwest Scotland, particularly this afternoon. Now, we do start fairly dull in this zone. There's a line of rain and drizzle from northeast England down across the Midlands into East Wales and parts of central southern England. That's moving away, so parts of Wales turning a bit brighter. Good spells of sunshine for Northern Ireland and much of Scotland. As I mentioned, a few showers in the far northwest. Some of that patchy rain getting to Lincolnshire down to the home counties by the afternoon. Still quite mild here. Elsewhere, temperatures close to average, 7 to 10 degrees, but probably feeling a bit fresher than recent days. But at least there should be quite a bit of sunshine this afternoon. That sunshine will turn into clear skies through the night. Staying fairly overcast, though, for East Anglia and the southeast. Some rain and drizzle here for the evening rush hour, but elsewhere, most places dry and clear, bar those showers getting into northwest Scotland. With the clear skies, though, temperatures will be falling away. A colder night tonight than many of us have been used to. The rain and drizzle over eastern parts of England will slowly fizzle out through the evening, so generally becoming dry. A few more of those showers getting into western Scotland, maybe the odd one for Northern Ireland too, but many areas dry and clear. Might turn a bit misty through the night across southern counties of England, one or two fog patches, and certainly a colder night. And yes, there may even be some pockets of frost across parts of the south to start Saturday morning. A chilly start then, again, certainly compared to many mornings so far this month, but a bright, fine day for most of England and Wales tomorrow. There'll be some winter sunshine around. Mist and fog may take a few hours to clear in the south. For Scotland, though, as you can see, we are looking at more rain coming in, and that rain also slowly creeping its way into Northern Ireland. That rain likely to turn heavy and more persistent as we go through Saturday night and into Sunday, and push a little further south into parts of Wales too. Bye for now.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Thank you, Britain, for our more than 2 million YouTube subscribers and more than 2 billion views. That is Britain watching, sharing and making its voice heard louder than ever before.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. In Buckinghamshire, on the M40 northbound at Junction 2, the exit slip road has lane restrictions due to road management issues. Relief is expected between 11:45 and noon today, with one of 2 lanes currently closed. Meanwhile, in Kirklees district, an incident on the M62 eastbound at Junction 26 has closed all lanes, causing 50-minute delays. Normal traffic conditions are expected between 9 and 9:15 today. And on the trains, the Elizabeth line is experiencing disruption between London Paddington and Heathrow, while Great Western Railway faces issues between London Paddington and Slough. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
This is your chance to become our biggest cash prize winner to date. £85,000 in totally tax-free cash could be making its way from our bank account to yours. It would be like having over £7,000 per month extra to play with, each month for a whole year. That could be you, safe in the knowledge that 2026 is on us. For another chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message, or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entry start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand.
Britain was once the envy of the world. But look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m. only on GB News.
No matter the state it's in, this is our nation. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for a genuine, honest discussion on where we have been, where we are going, and where we are with the people who set the direction. Tune in to State of the Nation every Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock, only on GB News.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates,
lively conversation,
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
and each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
A really important thing about GB News, and it's brought something completely different to the landscape.
The mainstream is all about keeping the status quo as it is, ticking along quite nicely. They don't want to ask difficult questions.
GB News exists because there is a desperate need for fearless journalism that puts the people first.
GB News came on the scene as a disruptor, and it has always been a disruptor ever since.
Journalism in this country has been a cosy world full of groupthink until now.
Well, the reality is that most British journalists are afraid. That's not GB News.
Journalism is journalism at the end of the day, and we're not here to serve any masters. Our masters are our audience.
We're here to talk about things in a way that have never been broadcast on British airways before.
Do not miss a moment on GB News.
The #1 news channel in the country. Good morning. Britain is told to brace for war.
As NATO warns the shadow of an armed conflict with Russia looms on Europe's doorstep.
We are Russia's next target. Too many don't feel the urgency, and too many believe that time is on our side. It is not.
So, is it time to prepare for war on a scale unseen since the 1940s?
The NHS has plunged into the worst-case scenario as a surge in superflu cases threatens to wreak havoc on the health service just before Christmas.
King Charles records a groundbreaking video about his cancer battle. It will be broadcast today.
Wes Streeting slams Labour's practical approach to government, fuelling speculation that he could challenge Sir Keir Starmer's leadership.
GDP figures for October are set to be released any moment.
President Trump claims some European leaders want him to take power across the Atlantic.
European nations are reporting that your president might as well be the leader of the European nations also. They listen to us and they respect us like they've never respected us before.
Almost half of teenagers admit they've missed school because of anxiety. We're going to be debating if schools are too soft on attendance.
In sport, football fans feel betrayed over FIFA's over-inflated World Cup tickets prices. Wins for Nottingham Forest at Aston Villa in the Europa League as Celtic and Rangers lose last night. And Luke Littler kicks off the World Darts Championship with a win.
A brighter day for many today. There will be some winter sunshine in places. There is more rain to come for some parts of the country as we head into the weekend. If you've got plans, you'll want to know what the weather's doing, join me later for a full update.
It's just gone 7 o'clock. I'm Stephen Dixon.
I'm Ellie Costello, and this is GB News Breakfast.
All right, we've had the GDP figures just come out, and it's bad news, I'm afraid. GDP fell 0.1% in the 3 months to October this year. No growth in services, literally 0%. Production went down by 0.5%. Construction down by 0.3%. So it's grim news.
Yes,
actually.
It's not good, is it? Well, let's speak now to news editor at the Press Association, Theo Ashwood, who joins us in the studio. What do you make of this figure, Theo?
I mean, they're not what Rachel Reeves or Keir Starmer would have wanted, as you rightly say, down in construction and, of course, in flatlining in services. So these are not good figures for Rachel Reeves. And against the forecast, from what I've seen, the forecast was actually that growth would flatline at 0.0%, and actually now it's gone. We've seen a regression in GDP. So these are not good numbers for the Chancellor, especially as she's come under criticism for not just the last budget, but last year's budget as well, where she decided to put up taxes because, of course, many businesses have made the argument that they cannot expand, they cannot take on workers, they cannot do the things they would like to do if they are facing higher taxes from the Treasury.
But the argument is going to be, or the detail that we need in all of this actually is going to be what is fueling this issue and whether the government accepts it is down to their economic policy.
But the
government,
government, Keir Starmer and Rachel Reeves, before the general election in July last year, were adamant that the way that they were going to get this country back on its feet was through economic growth.
Yeah.
And that if you have economic growth, then what you end up with is higher tax receipts into the Treasury because you've got more people out there.
Without charging more tax.
Without charging more tax, you've got more people out there running businesses, employing people, and therefore you've got higher tax receipts coming into, which can then be spent on things like the NHS, schools, filling in potholes, whatever you want, whatever the government of the day wants to fill in to pay for with those taxes. The problem that they've got is what they did is that when they came in, is they decided to put up taxes significantly, £40 billion in the Halloween budget of October 2024. That meant that many employers businesses looked and thought, well, actually, because I'm going to have to pay higher national insurance contributions for my employees, do I really want to take those employees on? And we've seen, as those figures in the 3 months to October demonstrate, we've seen businesses actually, especially in places like in areas like construction, actually contract, and therefore the opposite of what Rachel Reeves and Keir Starmer wanted to happen has ended up happening, and that means that we end up in this sort of doom loop now where we're going to have another budget next year, and in order to fill in the hole, we're going to see taxes go up again.
Well, except at what point do they sit up and smell the coffee on this one and realise that actually employing policies which, increasing taxes, filling the gaps, all that, doesn't actually solve the problem. What you have to do is actually do things like reduce taxes. It seems counterintuitive to stimulate growth, and then you're going to get the more money coming in.
But it's. I think there's a.
You've got to be bold.
There's a complete. I take your point, Stephen. I think the problem is that on the one hand, Rachel Reeves is boxed in by the bond markets, who want to know that the books are balanced, and on the other hand, she's boxed in by her own Labour MPs, who say that actually they're not prepared to cut. They're not prepared to stomach any spending cuts. We've seen, as you were discussing in the last hour with Nigel and Claire, we've seen, of course, the lifting of the two-child benefit cap. That was a big, something that Labour MPs right across the parliamentary party were united in calling for, and Rachel Reeves decided that actually that was for her own political salvation, for want of a better expression, that was the way that she was going to go by granting that. But that money has to be paid for, and she can't cut taxes if at the same time she's increasing welfare spending, and that's, of course, the demand of many Labour MPs in her own party.
Can we look at our top story today? And it's this chilling message from the NATO chief, Mark Rutte, who's saying that we need to raise military spending rapidly to meet the threat of Russia. He's talking about a scale of war that our grandparents and great-grandparents endured, and that Europe is Russia's next target.
Yeah, I mean, chilling words there from the newish Secretary General of NATO, and of course echoed by Al Kans, who is tipped by many as a possible future leader of the Labour Party, who is the Armed Forces Minister, who says that the country needs to be on a war footing, and that we're not. Keir Starmer, last year announced that they were going, the government announced that it was going to increase defence spending to 2.5% of GDP by 2027. That is a promise that Rishi Sunak in the general election wasn't prepared to make, but he's going to cut international aid spending in order to make up that deficit. But of course, to get to the levels that Donald Trump would like Europe to spend on, we're heading towards 5%. 3.5% of defence spending on GDP. There is no target no target yet for that. Only by the end of the next Parliament in 2035. So we are still some way we're still some way off, I think, from where somebody like Mark Rutte would like us to be. But given the levels of aggression we've seen, not just towards, of course, the war in Ukraine, Putin's illegal war invasion of Ukraine, but also to those satellite states around Russia, the states in the Balkans as well, the Baltics, I should say, as well. I don't think we should be under any illusions that Mark Rutte and indeed Al Kans, they have a point that this is something that could rapidly escalate and come. Russia's invasion could, have much further implications for the rest of Europe.
But this is these two stories tie in, actually, don't they?
Do.
Because if this isn't an indication that we need to get this economy growing by any means necessary, which is going to take, frankly, difficult and bold action by any government, then if this doesn't stimulate you to get on with it, nothing will.
But the way if you want to keep the bond markets happy, if the Chancellor wants to keep the bond markets happy, then she wants to lower taxes, then the only way to do that, that I can figure out, is or anybody else can figure out, is you've got to cut welfare spending. That's the only way to do that. She tried to do that in the summer. Labour MPs rebelled to the extent where she had to actually, complete reverse ferret, cancel that completely.
And then she's ended up putting it up.
And now but this is a Chancellor whose position has been perilous for months now, and she needs to try and secure that position with her own MPs. On the backbenches, and that's why she took the decisions that she did. And of course, she was accused of lying as a result of the decisions that she took, because she made the economy appear to be in a worse state than it actually was.
But country before party, right? Which is what we were told.
Yeah, steps to Downing Street, July the 5th, 2024.
But we're heading towards a point with so much in crisis, growth not just flatlining but dipping. This incredible military threat that we need to counter with vast amounts of investment into our armed forces. If now isn't a critical time to say, all right, it really is country before party, and I may have to pay the consequences for it. Now, if you don't do it now, you never will.
Yes, I think, but there would be an argument from Keir Starmer, and we've heard this from those around the Prime Minister, that if he was to be, and if Rachel Reeves was to be ousted by Labour MPs, that actually the alternative, and this is something we're going to our earlier conversation in the 6th hour, that actually the alternative and what Labour MPs come up with could be much worse. Yes, I think there's a distinct possibility that Labour could go for somebody like Wes Streeting, who would widely be seen as a safe pair of hands, but they might decide to lurch to the left. And they might decide that actually that the sensible, picking somebody like Keir Starmer or indeed Wes Streeting, who can be seen to win over the country, is something that they don't particularly fancy.
But if that was the case, for the sake of the country, couldn't the Prime Minister call a general election before a leadership contest?
Yeah, we got into this. Yeah, I mean, potentially he could call a general election, but I'm not sure Labour MPs would put up with it, because of course they'd see him as.
Well, they'd have to. They wouldn't have a choice, would they?
It's fantasy politics now, isn't it?
Well, it is, but but there are solutions to all of this.
But I tell you what it is, Stephen. It is a fair point to say that that Labour made a huge play that they were going to bring stability and competency to government, and we're now, 18 months in, find ourselves in very much the same territory that we found ourselves with the Conservatives when they kept on changing leader.
And we're still only 18 months in.
Yeah.
Fantasy politics. Yeah, well, you're not wrong, but it's a shame we have to head into that territory, isn't it?
Theo, thank you very much. Thank you. Now, cases of the superflu are continuing to rise, with the NHS warning it's the worst case scenario.
There has been a 55% jump in flu cases over the last week. The Health Secretary, Wes Streeting, is appealing to the British Medical Association to call off the resident doctors' strikes, which could be taking place next week.
Well, we're joined now by pharmacist and Vice Chair of the National Pharmacy Association, Oliver Pickard. Very good morning to you, Oliver. So tell us about this superflu that we're hearing so very much about. It seems to be a particularly infectious strain.
Yes, correct. And, you know, when manufacturers prepare the vaccine for our winter season, they always prepare it with the intelligence that is given by the World Health Organization. Flu is a mutating virus, and therefore sometimes the mutation means that new infections appear, and we're really encouraging patients, NHS patients, to come forward and have the vaccination to avoid the misery of flu over Christmas.
Yeah, I noticed you said NHS patients, because, I mean, you are running out. I mean, you can't... It's very difficult if you aren't on the list of those eligible to be able to just pop in and buy one for £15, £20.
And you know, in the last 3 or 4 days, we have had more inquiries for flu vaccination than we had 4 or 6 weeks ago at the peak of the vaccination campaign. And that's because patients perhaps thought they might not want to go ahead with the vaccination. But suddenly, these new cases, a lot of media interest, the health secretary saying, come forward and get vaccinated, and immediately the uptake increases. So, I mean, I think it's good news. We have some stock, and our members at the National Pharmacy Association tell us that they're still able to get some stock, but supplies are running low. As a pharmacist, and you can see today I'm in my pharmacy, I'm bracing myself for quite a busy day with vaccination. We are prioritizing NHS patient above private patient to make sure that the supplies goes to the most vulnerable.
And Oliver, what's your advice to people who are watching and listening this morning who may have super flu? How would you best advise them to recover as quickly as possible?
Yeah, and I think isolating yourself from other people is important. Flu is spreads very easily. It gets on surfaces, door handles, the underground. You know, if you are affected with flu, especially in order to protect the most vulnerable, you must stay at home. Flu doesn't really have a treatment. You have to treat the symptoms. The complication of flu with secondary infections, such as pneumonia, is what causes people to end up in hospital. And therefore, we are asking patients, those affected by flu, to stay at home, ride the wave. You know, we have always said that this vaccination campaign is important, and that just shows the importance of getting vaccinated to avoid, as you say, increases of flu at the last minute just before Christmas by 50+%.
What about those people, final thought, Oliver, you always get people, don't you, who say, I've got flu, when actually they've got a nasty cold. I mean, they're worlds apart, aren't they?
Indeed, and I think when I did my training and I was sitting with a GP surgery, that was a few years ago, the doctor that I was sitting with said to me, if you want to know if someone has flu, you put a £20 note on the floor and you ask them to pick it up. If they have flu, they're not going to bend down. If they don't have flu and they pick up the note, you know they don't have flu. And I think this is really the difference. But, you know, I deal with people on a day-to-day basis that come forward having Googled their symptoms and they tell me what's wrong, and I've got to handle that all the time. So I'm well used to it. Pharmacies have a range of treatment that they can offer patient. If it is flu and you have high fever and you feel they're highly contagious, you need to stay at home. Everybody else, you know, you can send someone to the pharmacy to buy remedies for you. But, you know, it's all about being sensible. If people have flu, they will really be unable to come to the pharmacy, I think.
OK. Good advice. Thank you, Oliver.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Got to be so careful.
Yeah,
but what a great way if someone says, you know...
I've heard that before. It's a good one, isn't it?
It is a good one, yeah. If you've got flu, you just can't do anything.
Yeah, you don't want to lift your head off the pillow, do you? You're literally bedbound. So I'm thinking of you, if you are suffering with the super flu, I know quite a few people who've got it now.
It's awful. It's just doing the rounds.
It is.
If you are entitled to a vaccine, because you're the only ones who can get it at the minute, by all accounts, get it. I know we always get people messaging in saying, does it do any good? Oh, well, it's not ever done me any harm, and I've been taking it for 30-odd years.
Yeah.
Just get it. It's not worth the risk.
Now, at 17 minutes past 7, let's get a check on the weather with Alex Deacon.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Morning. Welcome to your latest weather update from the Met Office here on GB News. A grey day for a large part of England, but elsewhere we should see some spells of sunshine, a few showers into northwest Scotland, particularly this afternoon. Now, we do start fairly dull in this zone. There's a line of rain and drizzle from northeast England down across the Midlands into East Wales and parts of central southern England. That's moving away, so parts of Wales turning a bit brighter. Good spells of sunshine for Northern Ireland and much of Scotland. As I mentioned, a few showers in the far northwest. Some of that patchy rain getting to Lincolnshire down to the home counties by the afternoon. Still quite mild here. Elsewhere, temperatures close to average, 7 to 10 degrees, but probably feeling a bit fresher than recent days. But at least there should be quite a bit of sunshine this afternoon. That sunshine will turn into clear skies through the night. Staying fairly overcast, though, for East Anglia and the southeast. Some rain and drizzle here for the evening rush hour, but elsewhere, most places dry and clear, bar those showers getting into northwest Scotland. With the clear skies, though, temperatures will be falling away. A colder night tonight than many of us have been used to. The rain and drizzle over eastern parts of England will slowly fizzle out through the evening, so generally becoming dry. A few more of those showers getting into western Scotland, maybe the odd one for Northern Ireland too, but many areas dry and clear. Might turn a bit misty through the night across southern counties of England, one or two fog patches, and certainly a colder night. And yes, there may even be some pockets of frost across parts of the south to start Saturday morning. A chilly start then, again, certainly compared to many mornings so far this month, but a bright, fine day for most of England and Wales tomorrow. There'll be some winter sunshine around. Mist and fog may take a few hours to clear in the south. For Scotland, though, as you can see, we are looking at more rain coming in, and that rain also slowly creeping its way into Northern Ireland. That rain likely to turn heavy and more persistent as we go through Saturday night and into Sunday, and push a little further south into parts of Wales too. Bye for now.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Right, time for our giveaway now, and it's £85,000 in cold, hard, tax-free cash that could be yours in the new year. Here's how you enter.
This is your chance to become our biggest cash prize winner to date with an incredible £85,000 to be won. That's right, £85,000 in totally tax-free cash could be making its way from our bank account to yours. It would be like having over £7,000 per month extra to play with each month for a whole year. That could be you with your feet up, safe in the knowledge that 2026 is on us. £85,000 is a massive amount of money, and it could be yours. For another chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message, or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge, or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrants must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. The winner may be contacted live on GB News, week commencing the 9th of February 2026. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Yes, good luck. Now, do stay with us. Still to come, we're going to be debating if schools have become too soft on attendance. It's actually our You Decide poll today as well. So you can have your say. You can do so if you're a friend of GB News, and you can vote on that very question for free. All you have to do is scan the QR code on your screen now, or you can head to gbnews.com.
Yes, and if you want to become a friend of GB News for free, here's how you do it.
Join the community and be part of our shows by becoming a friend of GB News. Get a direct line to join the conversations that you hear us talking about every day in our programmes by commenting on your say and voting in You Decide polls. Access opinion, analysis and behind-the-scenes videos as we share more from the stories that you see on TV and radio. Plus, watch our shows live and on catch-up anywhere, anytime. If you love our channel, become a friend of GB News for free by scanning the QR code or going to gbnews.com/friend. Don't just watch our programmes, come and be a part of them.
Bold. They are under no illusion. Ray. Are you a human trafficker? Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it. Don't get us on the BBC. Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines. The smell of gasoline. Should we be worried about it? From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos. I'm going to do now, they are throwing things out the car as we speak. Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie's tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation, isn't it?
Because
the failure is...
You're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Britain was once the envy of the world, but look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m, only on GB News.
No matter the state it's in, this is our nation. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for a genuine, honest discussion on where we have been, where we are going, and where we are with the people who set the direction. Tune in to State of the Nation every Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock, only on GB News.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Cates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Welcome back to Breakfast. Now, almost half of teenagers have missed school over the past year because of anxiety.
Almost half.
Almost half.
Heck, 1 in 20 admit to skipping school over mental health on a weekly basis.
These are big numbers, aren't they? So let's debate this morning. Is this a symptom of schools that have become too soft on attendance?
Oh, let's talk to former teacher Joanna Reeves and former head teacher Chris McGovern. Morning to you both. Joanna, what do you think?
Good morning. Well, I think this is a plea for help from a whole generation. It's a howl for help, if anything. Those figures are absolutely shocking. I think children and young people are a barometer of the health of our nation and our society. And if they're feeling so anxious that they can't get to school or reliably attend their lessons, I think we really need to sit up and take notice. I think that telling them that they're fine, go to school, just try a bit harder, work your way through it, simply isn't a solution. And I think really the adults need to be stepping up here and finding ways to get to the bottom of this and work out what children need to feel less anxious.
Chris, have our schools become too soft?
Well, I think schools have a lot of responsibility. I taught for 35 years, and when I was a head teacher, the children were breaking down the door to get into the school, and we couldn't get them out in the evening. And I think that was because they were well taught. And I think it's particularly true with older children. Perhaps the curriculum isn't right for them. I mean, the prospect of studying Shakespeare, which I love, of course, but many young children don't, they probably don't want that. They want to learn how to be a bricklayer, a hairdresser, a plumber. So the curriculum has a part to play. But I think, also, particularly with the younger children, they're being expected to sort of save humanity. They're being taught lessons in gender identity, racial awareness, climate change. They feel overburdened. They need to have a childhood. So I can understand why some children feel miserable. And also, it's up to schools to stamp down on bullying. Many young people say they don't go to school because they're bullied. Well, when I was a head, there's a no tolerance of bullying. If a child bullies someone twice, they're out. They go and find another school. So you've got to be quite tough. You've got to have a good curriculum, good teaching, tough on bullying. And look, for many children, school is a refuge, a place they go for sanity in their lives. And I took over a failing school when I retired and turned it round. And the children love to come to school. So we've got to step up to the plate. The profession is partly to blame, undoubtedly, and they need support from government.
Is it really the right attitude, Joanna, to say, the grown-ups need to look at what's bothering the children and sort of kowtow to them in that way? Because when you look at the figures, what is causing people to miss school from anxiety? Exam pressure, 27.6%. Being asked to speak in front of the class, 21%. Fear of falling behind, 18%. Appearance, 18%. Not fitting in or having friends, 17%. This is a resilience problem, isn't it? Every single person has anxiety over exams and the grades and what they're going to get. That's part of life.
Well, absolutely. I think there's a huge difference, though, between usual healthy nerves about exams, anything that that we used to be worrying about at school, standing in front of a class speaking, worrying about that. That's not anxiety. Anxiety is that underlying sense of not being able to solve general problems, having a malaise, the horrible feeling that you can't quite attribute to something, and that's something quite different. I think we need to look at what has changed. What are the conditions now that are making children feel this way? It's not so long ago that the big worry at school was what brand of trainers you were wearing, and now kids are worrying, are they going to accidentally misgender someone and be cancelled? Does someone in the classroom have a knife? The worries that they have, how do they compare to someone's curated life on social media? They're also very much, they're always available. Children are constantly getting messages through WhatsApp and other messaging systems that they have. Things that the adults don't know about. There's this whole secret world of messaging coming through. Bullying might once have been calling someone names or giving them a shove as you were going down the stairs, but now there's a sort of secret world of messaging that has a potential never to stop. Not only that, the wider world, are we about to go to war, or, the world feels like a very dangerous place. All sorts of demonstrations happening in towns. And I think children have got really every right to feel anxious. I think that parents, teachers and the government have all got a role to play in calming things down, teaching them the difference between healthy nerves and clinical anxiety, and getting these kids back in the classroom, but in a humane way, without telling them.
Chris, just digging into the details here, Chris, and this seems to be affecting older pupils rather than younger ones. At year 13, pupils were 6 times more likely to miss school. Also, it's female pupils who are reporting missing school on average 26 times a year compared to male pupils 16 times. So older pupils and girls. Why do you think that could be?
Well, we've just had I think we had the point made about social media, and we should take a lead from Australia, ban social media for under 16s. That's a major cause of upset and anxiety. I mean, if I had my way, I would apply the same rules, the same laws to smartphones as we apply to alcohol. I would ban them for the under 18s. But that requires a minister with a bit of backbone. They're not going to do that. In Scotland, we classify 43% of children as having special educational needs. In England, 20%. Internationally, it's about 5%. This is insane. This is crazy. We're driving these kids
just
mad.
on that, Chris, on that, the one point I wanted to make is you both talked about anxiety and how awful it is if you really suffer, and as you said, Joanna, clinical anxiety. My concern with all of this is that these kids don't have clinical anxiety, or the vast majority of them, but we live in a world where you can say you're anxious and get time off and no one bats an eyelid, Chris.
No, and they're overdiagnosed, and some experts have been saying this. We classify far too many children as having problems. Children go into a class where they have a lesson on personal and social education. They go in feeling fine. They come out and they think they've got a problem. Am I a boy or am I a girl or something in between? We are pressurising these kids. They need to have a childhood. You know, around the world, most kids want to go to school. In Afghanistan, the girls desperately want to go to school. They can't go to school. They're not allowed to. We should tell children, explain to children that this is a great gift. We need to give these children some hope. We need to be optimistic and stop burdening them with adult anxieties. Leave the kids alone. Floyd said it. Let those kids have a life, you know. Leave those kids alone. Let them be children and stop burdening them. But most of all, the best solution to this is to ban the sale of smartphones to under 18. And that requires some real guts. And they will say, you can't do it, it won't work. Look, banning alcohol doesn't work. Banning murder doesn't work. We still have murder. We still have alcohol, but we do still do it. Support the parents, for heaven's sake. Do something drastic, because we've got to get the message out there. We've got to stop these kids from being so depressed. And it's Britain, not the whole rest of the world. It's us. 43% in Scotland have got special educational needs. They're going crazy up there.
Well, it's fascinating to speak to you both. Joanna and Chris, thank you so much for your time. Really, really good to get a teacher's perspective on that, don't you think?
Yeah, I still think resilience is the key.
Number one thing, yeah.
I think kids are too... children think they should... I know from my own family that when they're going through exams, they think they need to be anxious because that's the thing now. It's exams. Oh, I'm really, really anxious. So you're not anxious. You're just a little bit nervous.
Yeah, which is natural.
Which is perfectly normal.
And you should be if you care.
Yeah, and you should
about your exam results.
Yeah. So it's like this is normal life, and they're just being told, well, you're sick and it's fine. And, oh dear, never mind.
Well, you're worried, don't you? Because you're not preparing them for the world.
No, you're not.
It gets a lot harder than school, doesn't it? I mean, if you're suffering at school, it's going to be tough out there.
Yeah.
If you're not prepared. Anyway, you will certainly have a view on that. gbnews.com/your say.
Right, but up next, we've got the sport with Paul, so don't go anywhere.
Thank you, Britain, for making us the fastest growing news website in the nation. Because the truth matters, and so do you.
Good morning. This is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. On the M6 southbound between Junction 20A and Junction 19, congestion is causing 40-minute delays but is expected to clear soon. In Buckinghamshire, one lane is closed on the M40 northbound exit slip at Junction 2 due to road management. Meanwhile, the A27 eastbound in West Sussex has an overturned vehicle between the A25 Halnaker and the A29 south, closing one lane. And on the trains, there is disruption through Coventry affecting Avanti West Coast and cross-country services. Please plan your journeys accordingly. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
Exciting news. Every Friday, my Patrick Christie's Tonight Show is going to have a twist to it. We're welcoming some special guests. You. That's right, on Fridays I'm going to be doing my show in front of a live studio audience because this show is about you and what you have to say. It's going to be the same big debates, same big topics, same big opinions, but every Friday night at 9 p.m. you are invited to come on down to Patrick Christie's Tonight to be a part of the action. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation, isn't it?
No,
because the failure is
you're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m. only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
5 hosts.
5 opinions.
5 fearless debates.
5 unfiltered takes on the day's news.
5 reasons not to be anywhere else on Saturday night.
This is the Saturday 5.
You got me good there.
Britain's biggest Saturday night TV show.
It's not a bad brand.
Yeah. Uncensored.
Very, very racy tonight.
On the unpredictable.
What did she say? Can you translate it for us?
And always entertaining.
And how can a country go from being led by William Wallace to
Saturday nights from 6 p.m. only on GB News. The People's Channel.
Britain's news channel.
You're going to want to stay tuned, trust me.
Britain was once the envy of the world. But look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m.
Only on GB News.
Welcome back. It's sports time. Paul Coyte's here with us. Morning.
I'm a little further over there. I'm going to move it. So moving a little closer.
Yeah.
I'll move in a little closer. Europa League last night, Nottingham Forest. You know, you spent some time in Nottingham, didn't you?
I did, many years.
Here's a little thing I'll ask you, but like, see, a lot of sports people, they'll say Notts Forest.
No, it's not.
See? See, that's right.
Nottingham Forest, but Notts County.
There, because I've done it before, and I've known other people in sport, and I said once, oh, Notts Forest, and it was like, don't you dare.
No.
Nottingham Forest. I'm always very careful.
Yeah.
So I just thought I'd run it by you. That's very interesting.
No, it's true. That gets drilled.
Did you get told off?
You move in. No, I never did it.
So there's a few things when you go to Nottingham for the first time that you learn that there are more women than men. Isn't that right? And the other thing is is that a fallacy?
That's a fallacy now.
Okay, fine. But Notts Forest is Nottingham
Notts Forest is not how you say it.
Right. Nottingham Forest.
Like you never say Lake Windermere.
Do you not?
Do you not? You just say Windermere.
Windermere.
Oh.
There's only one lake in the Lake District.
No.
Really?
Yeah, Bassenthwaite Lake. All the rest are meres, waters, tarns, whatever. Yeah.
So what is Windermere? It's a mere.
It's a mere. Windermere.
So what?
And Coniston Water. And all that.
Oh, you're very good.
Bassenthwaite Lake is the only lake in the Lake District.
Right. Fine.
That's fascinating that it's even called the Lake District.
Well.
No, it's called the District.
The District.
No, that's called it the Lake. Yeah.
Fascinating.
So if anybody's playing Trivial Pursuit over the weekend,
it's a great pub question.
Here we are.
That is good. That is worth knowing.
And so, how many lakes in the Lake District?
There's one.
One.
That's good.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest beat Nottingham Forest beat Utrecht. There's only one Utrecht, by the way, in the Netherlands. 2-1. Aston Villa beat Basel 2-1 as well in Switzerland. I love it when you spit your drink out. Ferencváros, by the way.
My favourite.
Yes, Robbie Keane is the manager. Did you know that?
Is he?
Yes, he is. In Hungary, they beat Rangers 2-1. And Celtic lost 3-0 to Roma. Now, Wilfried Nancy, or Nancy, he's getting a bit of stick already because he's the first Celtic manager to lose their first 2 games. But for crying out loud, give him a break. The first one was Hearts, and Hearts are doing extremely well. And then you play Roma in the Europa League. Give the man a break. It's early days. So there we are. That's what we have for you. World Cup tickets. I'm just going to get on my high horse very quickly. I'm not going to go on as long as I did before.
Okay.
But the prices we know are insane. This is FIFA overpricing tickets. So I say regular people. It's like anybody. You've got to be like a millionaire to go and watch this. It's insane.
It's looking like a 10 grand trip, isn't it? Once by the time you've done your flights and your hotel.
Ellie, at least.
Yeah, at least 10
At
grand.
least. If you want to go to the World Cup final, and if England get to the World Cup final, maybe Scotland get to but you never know your luck. £3,119 is the supporter value tier ticket, which is a real cheap ticket.
Value.
And they call it value for £3,000, and this is like not even a good seat. Premium tier, this is no hospitality, £6,615. It's just outrageous, and they should be ashamed of themselves.
Buy your own pie.
Yeah. Right, shall we do birthdays?
Oh, yeah,
yes.
Go on.
Right, sporting birthdays. Let's go with the first one. Birthdays today. There's quite a few. I think this is... Are we going with Will? It's Will Carling. Will Carling, former England rugby captain.
58.
58 for Will.
60.
Is the right answer. Is the right answer. 60 is correct.
Start.
Very strong start. Let's go with another one. Tracy Austin. Tracy Austin, who you see on Wimbledon coverage. She was very young when she played in the 70s. She won the US Open in 79 and 81. So how old do you think Tracy Austin is? And please feel free to play along at home.
71.
71. Oh, you're overcooking Tracy there.
68.
63.
Oh, we are overcooking.
63, yeah.
Sorry, Tracy.
Sorry, Tracy. Right, how about this one? It's the man with the best... The reason I've got him is that he's got the best sideburns in Formula One. So this is Emerson Fittipaldi. So he was big in the, we'll say, late 60s.
All right.
How old do you reckon Emerson are?
Oh.
He's
90.
90 is slightly overcooking. He's funny enough though. His sideburns are 90 today, but not him.
87.
79.
Oh, I did overcook.
79.
It's around in the late 60s.
Right. Last couple. We'll do some showbiz ones for tomorrow. Ellie, this is for you.
Taylor.
Oh, she knows Taylor Swift's birthday.
She knows her birthday.
She's 36 tomorrow.
Do you concur?
I'm saying 36.
I would be. That was the sensible thing. It's 36 is of course.
Yay! Of course, I know her age.
Of course. So
it's a
finally,
year.
it's
Isn't that nice?
Dick Van Dyke, the great Dick Van Dyke, Mary Poppins and Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
101.
101.
I'm gonna go 94.
He's 100.
Oh.
Oh, so close.
I love Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah, isn't he great?
Oh, he's the best. 100, 100
nice.
Dick Van Dyke tomorrow, and I'm not even going to attempt the Mary Poppins voice.
Oh, the bad Cockney.
Well, apparently it was an Irish voice coach that taught him badly. That was his excuse.
No wonder it was so confused.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Oh, well, you did well on that one this morning.
Yeah, very good.
I did actually.
Very good. 2 on the nose.
Bad. Very good.
2 on the nose. Very good.
Very good.
All right. Thank you, Paul.
Do some more now.
Still to come, we're going to take you through the papers with Claire and Nigel. There they are. Oh, no, there's a paper. But we'll tell you more in a minute. First, though... oh, there they are. Heaven's sakes.
We'll get there in the end. All right, you two, speak to you in just a few seconds. But first, if you're in search of some holiday sun, here's the forecast across Europe.
Can't wait to get in that sea.
Lovely and warm.
Just like the feeling of having great travel insurance.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
After some recent downpours, the eastern Mediterranean is turning a lot drier and brighter through the weekend. Meanwhile, off the west coast of Africa, some rain will be drifting southwards, so it could be quite showery in the Canaries on Saturday. Some showers also likely over the Balearics, particularly for Ibiza. Largely fine for Italy and some sunshine returning to Greece, although with the breeze coming down from the north, it'll stay fairly cool here. We should see the sunny skies returning to Tenerife through Sunday and Monday.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Britain was once the envy of the world, but look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m.
Only on GB News.
Good afternoon, Britain. Weekdays from midday.
Tell you what, we've got a story about potholes now that is just, ridiculous. Fed up residents in a quiet cul-de-sac in Banbury in Oxfordshire say they've been abandoned after being told that it could take 103 years to have their pothole-riddled road resurfaced. 103 years.
I could not believe it. Absolutely farcical. Anyway, the locals on Horsham Close say some of the potholes are like craters, adding it's yet another sign of Britain's crumbling infrastructure.
Yeah, we're going to speak now to pothole campaigner Mark Morrell, often known as just Mr. Pothole. I say just Mr. Pothole. My goodness.
Yeah, it's terrible. They've used the figure from the alarm survey. That's a survey, a report that shows just how bad our roads are, and used an average figure. How naive or stupid, really, to actually put a figure in there rather than say it'd be done as and when. You know, I know the particular road. Because the main road, Sussex Drive, that it comes off of, I campaigned some years ago, got it resurfaced. Last year, I actually used some AI as a free app called Stan the App and drove around the 34 miles of Banbury on the main routes and identified 1,500 severe defects on their main routes. So the side roads, a number of those cul-de-sacs are well outside their life. I mean, if you look at the average road, it lasts about 20 to 25 years. And in the same report, In 15 years' time, 52% of all the country's roads will be structurally unsound, and therefore we've got a major problem coming up. And it just reflects the attitude, really, from politicians and authorities that we have to accept to manage decline.
GB News, the People's Channel.
No matter the state it's in, this is our nation. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for a genuine, honest discussion on where we have been, where we are going, and where we are with the people who set the direction. Tune in to State of the Nation every Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Only on GB News.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Right, 7:48. Oh, Nigel Nelson is here.
He's
along
off the
with Claire
blocks.
Pearce.
Yeah.
What would you argue about, Nigel? Tell us. We'll start
Tell
with
us.
that.
Mansion tax.
So romantic, isn't
Claire,
it?
you kick off.
In the least surprising news to anybody, the newly installed mansion tax is set to devalue people's homes by around £50,000. I just want to hold my head in my hands. What did the Chancellor really think was going to happen when you start putting extra taxes on people? Now, some of those people in properties they bought at a very cheap price, which upsets some people. It isn't their fault that property prices have increased. But where do you find an extra sort of £4,000 or £5,000 when your council tax has gone up, inheritance tax is going up? Those people aren't going to be cash rich all the time. They're going to be asset rich.
Okay.
So now you're going to tax them for it.
But every tax rise has a negative impact. And so this is the negative impact from that. But the kind of money it's going to raise will go to much better things than people having huge homes.
Much better things. Although I think that needs to be told to us. What are these much better things?
Well, I hope it'll go towards the two-child benefit cap, getting rid of that as a starting point. We've got the defence.
So you want people who are supposedly rich, who've worked hard and to achieve good things in life, to pay for those people who just want to.
Who have made certain choices.
Well, as we did in the last section, that it's not the kids' fault, and the kids will benefit by better health outcomes, better educational outcomes, and a better future, and therefore they'll benefit Britain.
I don't think.
But that was our last round.
But
These people can afford it.
No, they can't. And you look at the effect it's having on the economy. We've just seen the GDP figures, so the economy has shrunk.
Yeah, but it's nothing to do with mansion tax.
But that's only going to make it worse. People are looking at what is coming down the line and saying we're not going to be spending now because we are really concerned at how much the Treasury is going to take.
But you won't have to actually pay the money up front. You can always pay it on...
So take it out, so it'll disappear out your inheritance, so you can't leave your kids anything.
Well, no, I mean, it will disappear out. You can do it that way. If you die, it can come out of your inheritance, or if you sell your house, you use it from the profits made from the sale of it.
So all that money that
no tax rise is welcome. I understand that, but every single tax rise, someone has a whinge about.
Yeah, but you're looking at about £4,500 a year.
Yeah.
Right, on a £2 million property.
Well, it's 2.5 for a 2 million, and it'd be about 7.5 for a 5 million.
But and I know people will look at this and go, well, if you've got a £2 million house, then you've got pots of cash. That isn't necessarily the case.
That's the whole point about you can actually defer it. So it can come out of your estate if you die, if you sell your house. Bear in mind, a lot of these people you've just talked about...
They're not going to want to sell the house, are they?
Well, they're going to devalue
they might want to stay put. That's fine. That's perfectly fine too.
So you're going to monkey around.
The housing market.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Yeah. It means at that level, the housing market will drop.
Exactly. So you're messing around with the housing market. So how is that actually going to help people?
stimulator.
And actually, Savills have spoken about this.
Come on, Nigel.
Drop in
Exactly,
in
yeah.
homes.
But the point I'm making is every single tax rise has that kind of negative element behind it. And anyone affected by it will complain. But the money it raises is worth having, so you just balance the two.
You could reduce taxes or get rid of stamp duty or do whatever that would stimulate the economy.
You could, and if the economy
would ultimately bring in more revenue, wouldn't it?
And that's true if your economy is booming in the first place. But the fact it isn't, and we've just had, as Claire's just mentioned, a GDP figure drop, which is about £3 billion just been taken out of the economy. Until the economy is back on track again.
So you've got all that money coming out of the economy, but you just want to increase people's taxes. So if you work hard,
you do. You have to raise money.
You look after your own family, you're just going to get taxed to kingdom come.
But you're going to have to raise taxes until you've actually got growth working.
You can't tax your way to growth.
Exactly.
You don't tax your way to growth, but you do need the money to fill the gaps that it leaves behind.
Or perhaps just don't spend as much. Do you think that would be a more sensible thing for the Chancellor to
let's go back to defence again. Where's that extra £40 billion going to come for defence?
You can look at things like international aid, the international aid budget.
Which has been flat slash to the bones anyway.
There is an awful lot more. There is an awful lot of waste.
Only a few billion left there. That's
government.
not 40 billion there.
But there is also an awful lot of waste going on in government. If you only look at departmental spending, there is a lot of waste going on.
Oh, it's the waste thing, yeah. Every government talks about trying to do something about its waste.
Yeah,
and discovers there is some waste there, but not enough to actually plug these gaps.
But then they need to be told to do something about this, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They need to not employ the amount of people on very vastly overinflated salaries either. That also needs to stop.
£100,000 for Keir Starmer's TikTok.
Exactly.
Oh, they're doing well, aren't they? That's a good job.
Yeah, I'm not sure the TikTok thing is necessarily the best way for a Prime Minister to...
Oh, sorry, I've got a 17-year-old who'll do it for half the price.
Anyway, we can't even see it because it's banned in Parliament.
Oh, yeah, that's a fair point. That's stupid, isn't it?
Apparently the phone is outside of Parliament buildings.
And no government phone can actually access its TikTok.
Oh, right.
So I'm not quite sure this was actually a great sort of value for money exercise.
Right. Well, let us know what you think about what Nigel has to say. gbnews.com/yoursay. Thank you. We'll see you both a little bit later for the round.
Thanks, you two. Let's get a check on the weather now with Alex Deacon.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Morning. Welcome to your latest weather update from the Met Office here on GB News. A grey day for a large part of England, but elsewhere we should see some spells of sunshine, a few showers into northwest Scotland, particularly this afternoon. Now, we do start fairly dull in this zone. There's a line of rain and drizzle from northeast England down across the Midlands into East Wales and parts of central southern England. That's moving away, so parts of Wales turning a bit brighter. Good spells of sunshine for Northern Ireland and much of Scotland. As I mentioned, a few showers in the far northwest. Some of that patchy rain getting to Lincolnshire down to the home counties by the afternoon. Still quite mild here. Elsewhere, temperatures close to average, 7 to 10 degrees, but probably feeling a bit fresher than recent days. But at least there should be quite a bit of sunshine this afternoon. That sunshine will turn into clear skies through the night. Staying fairly overcast, though, for East Anglia and the southeast. Some rain and drizzle here for the evening rush hour, but elsewhere, most places dry and clear, bar those showers getting into northwest Scotland. With the clear skies, though, temperatures will be falling away. A colder night tonight than many of us have been used to. The rain and drizzle over eastern parts of England will slowly fizzle out through the evening, so generally becoming dry. A few more of those showers getting into western Scotland, maybe the odd one for Northern Ireland too, but many areas dry and clear. Might turn a bit misty through the night across southern counties of England, one or two fog patches, and certainly a colder night. And yes, there may even be some pockets of frost across parts of the south to start Saturday morning. A chilly start then, again, certainly compared to many mornings so far this month, but a bright, fine day for most of England and Wales tomorrow. There'll be some winter sunshine around. Mist and fog may take a few hours to clear in the south. For Scotland, though, as you can see, we are looking at more rain coming in, and that rain also slowly creeping its way into Northern Ireland. That rain likely to turn heavy and more persistent as we go through Saturday night and into Sunday, and push a little further south into parts of Wales too. Bye for now.
warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Thank you, Britain, for helping us reach 8 million followers across social media. Thank you for making us a part of your daily life.
Good morning, this is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. Drivers on the M4 between junction 30 at Cardiff Gate and junction 49 at Pont Abraham should be cautious due to ongoing maintenance, restricting 3 lanes northbound. The M62 westbound between junctions 27 and 26 faces congestion with 30-minute delays. In Buckinghamshire, the M40 northbound exit slip at junction 2 has 1 lane closed, expected to clear by 1:15 this afternoon. In West Sussex, an overturned vehicle on the A27 eastbound is affecting 1 lane. And on the trains, expect Avanti West Coast and cross-country disruptions through Coventry. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
We want to make the new year your best year yet, with a chance to win our greatest cash prize to date. A simply stunning £85,000 in tax-free cash could be yours. Treat the family to that bucket list holiday you've always fancied. Get your dream car you've always wanted. Or just relax, safe in the knowledge that the coming year is on us. For another chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. 1 entry costs £2.50 plus 1 standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus 1 standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Join me, Nana Akua, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, you didn't say that, though.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
In the GB Newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK,
we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News,
the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
Good morning. Britain is told to brace for war.
As NATO warns the shadow of an armed conflict with Russia looms on Europe's doorstep.
We are Russia's next target. Too many don't feel the urgency, and too many believe that time is on our side. It is not.
So, is it time to prepare for war on a scale unseen since the 1940s?
Breaking news this morning, another blow to the Chancellor as GDP shrinks by 0.1%.
The NHS plunged into the worst-case scenario as a surge in superflu cases threatens to wreak havoc on the health service over Christmas.
King Charles records a groundbreaking video about his cancer battle that's set to be broadcast later today.
The Health Secretary slams Labour's practical approach to government, fueling speculation he could challenge the Prime Minister's leadership.
Britain's made over £18 million worth of donations on Just Giving this year. That's a record high, despite the cost of living pressures.
Sport this morning, football fans, well, everybody feels betrayed over FIFA again. This is over overinflated World Cup ticket prices. Wins for Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa in the Europa League as Celtic and Rangers lose. And Luke Littler kicks off the World Darts Championship with a win.
A brighter day for many today. There will be some winter sunshine in places. There is more rain to come for some parts of the country as we head into the weekend. If you've got plans, you'll want to know what the weather's doing. Join me later for a full update.
It's just gone 8 o'clock. I'm Stephen Dixon.
I'm Ellie Costello, and this is GB News Breakfast.
I feel like a drink this morning.
Oh, do you?
Can I just say...
It's a bit early.
No, it's the GDP figures.
Oh.
Which, because it's...
So do you want me to drink?
The economy, yeah, but while it's Christmas, do you fancy an eggnog?
I've never had an egg. I've always wanted one. I never really know what it is.
Yeah. I saw it earlier.
Yeah, well, apparently, if you like an eggnog, what you should do is Aldi are bringing out a drink which is Sprout Nog.
And it tastes like Sprouts?
Well, it's made from sprouts, yeah.
Oh.
Sprout Nog. Apparently, they've sort of made it and they're asking people whether it should go on sale or not.
No.
Because half the population are devoted sprout eaters. So you could have a Sprout Nog.
I think they're winding you up.
What's the nog bit, by the way?
I don't know, what is it, vodka?
Is it?
What is the nog? Hang on. What is the nog in egg?
So what's when you get the snowballs?
The nog?
Yeah, snowballs.
That's like that, right?
Yeah,
what is the yellow stuff?
Yeah, it's the yellow stuff. I can't remember the brand.
Custard,
right now.
that's it.
And again, lemonade, yeah.
Yeah.
The nog in eggnog refers to an Old English word for a strong ale or beer. It also refers to a noggin, a small wooden cup used for drinking it.
Wow.
Right.
So there you go.
Oh, well, there you go.
A celebratory drink with alcohol.
I call my bluff.
Anyway, look, we can't have a drink this morning because it's far too early.
And we're at work.
But let's see if we can offer an eggnog or a Sprout Nog to the Shadow Chief Secretary to the Treasury, Richard Fuller, who joins us this morning. Do you feel like this economic news, Richard, is something that could drive you to drink?
It certainly might drive me to drink a Sprout Nog. It's bad. It's really, really bad news. Seriously, I mean, but what are the chances? I think she spent the whole summer sowing confusion and doubt and all those briefings, and of course, businesses don't know whether to invest when that's the case, and they don't know certainly we're going to hire anyone because the jobs tax last year has whacked up the cost of hiring people, and so the growth is going down, and now it's disappeared into negative territory. So it's a really bad way to end what's been a really bad year for the economy in the UK.
Can we talk about a very chilling message from NATO's Secretary-General Mark Rutte? Talking yesterday, he's saying that Europe needs to prepare for war with Russia. He's describing it as a scale of war that our grandparents and our great-grandparents would have seen. And he says Europe is Russia's next target. What do you make of that messaging?
Well, I think the government would be wise to listen to Mr. Rutte, first of all, because he's an exceptionally intelligent and smart political leader, and secondly, his job is to galvanise NATO in a way to make sure that we have collective defence. So, I think it's a timely reminder to European countries to say how important it is that we support the effort in Ukraine, that it's important that we fulfil the commitments to increase our defence expenditure, and we look at ways that we can cooperate across NATO countries to make sure that all of us are doing our bit to ensure collective security. So I think it was wise for him to say it, and it would be wise for the Prime Minister and political leaders of all parties, actually, to take note.
And would you fight on the front lines for Britain if asked to do so?
Well, I'm probably more Dad's army than, the airborne divisions of the UK army. I don't think I'll be in the parachute regiment. But yes, I mean, I think it is important. Galvanising support for defending your nation is a prime responsibility of all politicians. I think you never, ever want to ask young people to have to defend their country. But, we need a population that understand, if they're called upon, how to use arms. We need people who understand first aid. We need people who are prepared to help in distribution, just as we did on the last part, as we did during COVID. We saw during COVID that the British public rallied to the cause, and and I don't think we're at the stage where we need to necessarily be scaring people over their cornflakes about this. But practical things, small practical steps would be wise for the government to be taking in response to the additional challenges we face.
But I mean, obviously, the rallying cry from Mr. Rutte is that we need to, not that we should be planning to go to war, but we need to up our defences, which falls back to our last story, doesn't it, in the economy. We need more money. What, an extra 40 billion or something to get the armed forces up to really where they properly need to be. We've got to start growing the economy, haven't we? How do we do that? We can't just keep taxing everybody.
That's exactly right. And, you know, the so-called peace dividend, this period where we were lulled into some sense that we could allow the amount of money we spent on our defence to go down and down as a percentage of GDP, means that when you try and reverse course and you need to increase that, you're faced with very, very difficult choices on public spending because you'll squeeze out other areas of public spending in order to make room for defence. And as you rightly said, Mr. Dixon, the answer to that is to get the economy going. Now, the government strategy, the Labour government strategy, essentially is, well, let's tax the private sector, take that money into government, and the government will spend it more wisely than businesses would or people would with money in their own pocket. The Conservative approach is to say that's the wrong approach. What we need to do is, yes, there are some fundamental parts of the economy we need to tackle. We need to get our energy costs down. That's why we should not be ideological about net zero. We should use whatever sources of energy can help us in that mission. But we also need to unleash the risk-taking spirits in our economy, encouraging people to create businesses and create wealth by telling them they can keep a larger share of that. We're not just going to tax them out of existence, and telling people that you've got to work and that work pays. And I'm afraid the budget, by doing so much more for benefits and taxing working people to pay for benefits, is another sign that this government just doesn't really understand how you create growth.
Can I ask you about the BMA? More strike actions set for next week, coinciding with this super flu that we're hearing so much about. Now, there is an offer on the table from the Health Secretary, Wes Streeting, not for more pay, but that British medics are favoured in terms of jobs over foreign medics. Do you think that Wes Streeting is handling this in the right way, not offering more money to the resident doctors? And are you concerned that if the strike goes ahead, that the NHS is going to be overwhelmed?
But, you know, what's so frustrating about what Mr. Streeting is now proposing about changing some of the conditions, there was another thing, I think, in it about saying you don't have to pay your fees, your statutory fees to some of the medical bodies, which is, you know, kind of a big impact on resident doctors' pay, post-tax pay, is that these are things he should have been, Mr. Streeting should have been talking about last year. Before he handed out the 28% pay award, he could have said, let's look and change some of the conditions. That might have sealed things. He could then, at that point, have got over the line something would say that you won't strike. So I think for some of our critical public services, particularly the NHS, we really do need to have an agreement with the people who work in our public services. There'll be no strike agreement. And those sorts of changes in conditions last year that I think Mr. Streeting, he missed a big opportunity. He paid out lots of money to the BMA. They've come back for more. And now he's waiting at a time when lots of people up in the country are worried about loved ones who may be going into hospital, people might be having operations cancelled. Now Mr. Streeting saying, well, hold on a minute, this is all I've got left to offer you 1 week before Christmas. This is a very bad situation for him to be in. I'm glad he's made the offer, but he really could have done that a year ago and probably would have had a better outcome if he'd done so.
OK, Richard Fuller, go and pour yourself a large sprout nog. I think you deserve it. Good to talk to you this morning. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you. Well, let's speak now to our chief political correspondent, Catherine Forster, who was listening across to that interview. What do you make of it, Catherine?
Yeah, so it's all a bit gloomy, and I'm sorry, I don't think I can cheer you up either, but very worrying about the flu, isn't it? I actually went at the end of yesterday and managed to get a on-the-spot flu jab, but was told by the chemist I was at that they had pretty much only 10 shots left. On the economy, clearly this is not the news that the government wants to have. The government are saying they are determined to defy the forecasts on growth. But look, they've been in power a year and a half now, and these figures that the economy contracted by 0.1% in October, it had also contracted by that in September. Economists were expecting things to actually improve slightly. Is really gloomy news, and not just, of course, that there's less money around for public services, things like hospitals, things like schools, but also with this really worrying noises, warnings coming from Mark Rutte, the head of NATO, saying that we must prepare for war in Europe on a scale that only our grandparents can remember, in other words, the Second World War. And I have to say that that is the sort of message that I have been hearing now for many, many, many months. And in places like Poland, like Estonia, where I've been on trips with the Prime Minister, that where they are living next to Russia and really at the sharp end of this, their defence spending is already really, really high. Poland, well over 3.5%. We are still languishing at about 2.4%. And for all that the government say they're upping defence spending and all the sort of warm words, the reality is that military experts are saying you need to spend big time and you need to do it now, because if we do not make ourselves sufficiently strong, then even when and if Ukraine war is settled, Russia now has an economy built on war, and in a couple of years, 3 or 4 years perhaps, it may decide to come for perhaps Estonia. And then, of course, once you start getting a NATO country involved, we are all involved in that. So big warnings, and just worth saying that the government has promised to pacify Donald Trump, apart from anything else, to get to 3.5% on defence and 1.5% adjacent by 2035. But at the moment, they have not laid out any plan for how we're going to get there, and I think it's going to be very difficult choices coming.
OK. Catherine, thank you very much indeed. I say thank you. It's all miserable,
isn't it? It's all very bleak, I was just about to say, isn't it just?
It is bleak. I still can't understand the whole economic argument. If you're an economist and you understand how we could get the economy going again, I'd love to hear from you. gbnews.com/yoursurvey.
Maybe you can get in touch with the Chancellor as well.
Yeah, because
she probably wants to hear from them as well.
Because whatever is going on, it's just getting worse. And it seems, on the surface, to those of us who are experts, pretty obvious why things are getting worse. Maybe we're wrong. Because she's got a team of economic experts around her, hasn't she?
Well, yes.
Is she listening to them?
But these are figures from before the budget, and of course we know that the budget just brought more taxes, didn't it? So
the last quarter of the year, which we'll get in a few months, could be even worse.
Sorry to bring that to you. Anyway, I'd love to say the weather's going to cheer you up, but I'm not sure it will, actually. But here's Alex Deacon with all the details anyway.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Morning. Welcome to your latest weather update from the Met Office here on GB News. A grey day for a large part of England, but elsewhere we should see some spells of sunshine, a few showers into northwest Scotland, particularly this afternoon. Now, we do start fairly dull in this zone. There's a line of rain and drizzle from northeast England down across the Midlands into East Wales and parts of central southern England. That's moving away, so parts of Wales turning a bit brighter. Good spells of sunshine for Northern Ireland and much of Scotland. As I mentioned, a few showers in the far northwest. Some of that patchy rain getting to Lincolnshire down to the home counties by the afternoon. Still quite mild here. Elsewhere, temperatures close to average, 7 to 10 degrees, but probably feeling a bit fresher than recent days. But at least there should be quite a bit of sunshine this afternoon. That sunshine will turn into clear skies through the night. Staying fairly overcast, though, for East Anglia and the southeast. Some rain and drizzle here for the evening rush hour, but elsewhere, most places dry and clear, bar those showers getting into northwest Scotland. With the clear skies, though, temperatures will be falling away. A colder night tonight than many of us have been used to. The rain and drizzle over eastern parts of England will slowly fizzle out through the evening, so generally becoming dry. A few more of those showers getting into western Scotland, maybe the odd one for Northern Ireland too, but many areas dry and clear. Might turn a bit misty through the night across southern counties of England, 1 or 2 fog patches, and certainly a colder night. And yes, there may even be some pockets of frost across parts of the south to start Saturday morning. A chilly start then, again, certainly compared to many mornings so far this month, but a bright, fine day for most of England and Wales tomorrow. There'll be some winter sunshine around. Mist and fog may take a few hours to clear in the south. For Scotland, though, as you can see, we are looking at more rain coming in, and that rain also slowly creeping its way into Northern Ireland. That rain likely to turn heavy and more persistent as we go through Saturday night and into Sunday, and push a little further south into parts of Wales too. Bye for now.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Still to come, we're going to bring you the latest on the superflu crisis.
Yes, the H2N3 strain, dubbed superflu, is tearing through hospitals and care homes across the country. Here in Scotland, cases have risen 70% since the start of December. We'll have all the latest info on mask mandates and flu jabs after the break.
Westminster, the ultimate clique. And you're fighting like rats in a sack. But here on the Camila Tominey Show, we ask the questions the establishment media is too scared to ask. OK, let me ask you a straight question, because I know you're a straight-talking politician. Whether it's net zero, illegal immigration or law and order, nothing is off-limits. You had the power then.
Yeah, as I
and
say,
now you've lost it. That's the Camila Tominey Show, a politics show that's fearless. No, let me finish my question if you don't mind, because it is my show. Sundays at 9:30, only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Good afternoon, Britain. Weekdays from midday.
True Grinch fashion, one neighbour has written a bar humbug letter to a festive father-to-be, outraged by what he calls Dave Goodlin's cheap and tacky Christmas display outside his house.
I mean, there is no such thing as cheap and tacky Christmas today. Christmas is cheap and tacky. Dave accidentally, it happens, come on, brought a 20-foot inflatable Santa, believing it was just 4 foot tall, and inflated it outside his house.
Well, the neighbour's fury and Dave's giant Santa have now gone viral, and he's been left with little choice but to deflate the big man himself.
Or looking at that picture, went and brought a snowman that matched. Any case, we don't know. So joining us now is the man himself, Dave Goodings. Dave, you must be a bit deflated by this story.
Hello, good afternoon, guys. Yes, very deflated, because last weekend, the Sunday just gone, we decided to put up our Christmas decorations. You've got the tree behind me, and then outside the front, we've got two giant Christmas inflatables, one being a giant snowman and the other a Father Christmas.
So people have complained. Grinches have complained about this.
It's just the one complaint letter that we've had through the post. So we put them up on the Sunday, on the weekend just gone. And then I got home from work on Monday to an envelope that had been posted through the door. There's, no writing on the envelope, which I thought was a little bit weird. I opened it up and lo and behold, in the envelope was this long letter, all in capital letters. I couldn't believe it, what I was reading. And at first, my heart sunk, because I'm not the kind of person at all. I hate upsetting anyone. I hate any confrontation, stuff like that. But for me, I was reading it and I was like, oh, have I upset someone? But then after reading it a couple of times, it's so silly. It's a time of year where you can let your hair down, have a little bit of fun at Christmas.
GB News, the People's Channel.
No matter the state it's in, this is our nation. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for a genuine, honest discussion on where we have been, where we are going, and where we are with the people who set the direction. Tune in to State of the Nation every Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Only on GB News.
Welcome back to Breakfast. Now, cases of the superflu are continuing to rise, with the NHS warning that it's the worst case scenario.
Yeah, it's frightening, really. There's been a 55% jump in cases in the last week. The Health Secretary, as a result, we know he's doing it anyway, but appealing to the British Medical Association to call off those strikes for next week.
Well, let's go live now to Glasgow Royal Infirmary and speak to GB News' Scotland reporter Tony Maguire. Very good morning to you, Tony. We're talking about that spike in flu cases, and the situation is even worse in Scotland.
Yeah, I would certainly say good morning, by the way. But this is very much taking the whole country by storm, and I think every corner of the UK now is kind of waking up to the real worst-case scenario, as you say, about this influenza A strain. Now, this is the H2N3 subclade K strain of influenza, and it has been dubbed superflu just because it absolutely floors those who are unlucky to catch it, and those who are unlucky to catch it are increasing by the week now. Since the start of December, here in Scotland, cases have risen 70%, and actually breaking them down even until from the last week, cases have risen 24%, while hospital admissions are sitting at around 15% of those who've tested positive. Now, the most affected age groups, as you might expect, are the kind of 5 to 14s, as well as the elderly. And the NHS Scotland, at the very least, very much pushing the wearing of masks when visiting hospitals and care homes, but also, of course, to get that flu jab. Now, the flu jab typically is only administered to people who are immunocompromised, elderly, or have some form of respiratory condition. But certainly because of just how long the symptoms of this flu strain last, lots and lots of people are really trying to get their hands on it. And we understand that a lot of the private stocks of the flu vaccine are already running extremely low. Now, to kind of give you a bit of more of a UK picture, well, the UK government's National Flu and COVID Surveillance Report, they've said in the last week across the country there's around a 21% rise, and that is kind of up from about 17% the previous week. Now, these might just seem like little nudges kind of higher into the numbers, but actually this is, very much a cumulative effect, considering these symptoms of this virus last potentially 2 or more weeks. Then you can understand just how much of an impact that has in everyday life. There are schools in Aberdeen where they're having to run a reduced timetable because of the sheer number of pupils and teachers who unfortunately are off absent and off sick. And similarly, of course, in care homes, there's families who have been requested not to visit their loved ones just because of the risk of spreading this virus further. And I spoke a little bit earlier about the mask mandate, and that's really had a very mixed approach right across Scotland's many health boards. We have here in Argyll and Bute, in Highland, there have been a strict mask mandate, not just on staff, but on visitors visiting those hospitals. Meanwhile, in Ayrshire and Arran, they had to just stop visiting altogether for about a week, just so that they could get a handle on the spreading, because it's just so virulent, this strain. I'm pretty sure if you're in a group chat somewhere, my experience has been in every group chat on WhatsApp that I've been in, there's been somebody who has been just trying to caution everyone to take this strain extremely seriously, and that very much would be the recommendation of NHS. But more than anything, get your flu jab if you're able to get one.
Tony Maguire, thank you very much for that very comprehensive report.
Right, still to come, it's a battle of the sexes, as Anya Sabalenka and Nick Kyrgios are going to compete in an exhibition match this month. Paul Coit will have all the details in a moment.
But first, if you're travelling to work or school this morning, here's your traffic and travel update.
Good morning, this is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. There is disruption on the M80 northbound between junctions 5 and 6 due to a traffic incident, causing delays. The M4 is congested between junction 30, Cardiff Gate, and junction 49, Pont Abraham. In Hampshire, a broken down vehicle on the M27 westbound between junction 9 and 8 has closed one lane, with normal conditions expected soon. Buckinghamshire's M40 northbound exit slip at junction 2 has lane restrictions, likely resolving early this afternoon. And on the trains, there is disruption through Coventry on both Avanti West Coast and cross-country services. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world. Am I allowed to talk then? No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
The fact has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints. How many fingers have I got up? About 10. So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Decisions made in Washington aren't just shaping America, they're shaping Britain too. From migration to global security, from crime to health. Whatever happens in the White House today
will be felt in your town or city tomorrow.
That's why The Late Show is live from Washington, DC.
Cutting through the politics to show you what it all means for Britain.
The Late Show live every night at midnight.
Only on GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Bold.
They are under no illusion.
Ray.
Are you a human trafficker?
Boundless. I've had enough of the nonsense, and I'm not afraid to say it.
Don't get us on the BBC.
Every weeknight, I tear through the headlines.
The smell of gasoline.
Should we be worried about it?
From Westminster madness to cultural war chaos.
What I'm going to do now, they are throwing things out the car as we speak.
Get ready, Britain. Here we go. Patrick Christie's tonight, weeknights from 9 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Join me, Nana Akua, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, you didn't say that, Dave.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
In the GB Newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK,
We're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News,
the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
Just time to tell you about the Great British Giveaway. It's a goodie, £85,000 up for grabs, tax-free as well. Here's all the details that you need.
We want to make the new year your best year yet, with a chance to win our greatest cash prize to date. A simply stunning £85,000 in tax-free cash could be yours. Cash to splash on anything you can dream of. Treat the family to that bucket list holiday you've always fancied. Get your dream car you've always wanted. Or just relax, safe in the knowledge that the coming year is on us. £85,000 is the biggest cash prize we've ever given away. It's totally tax-free, which means that every single penny of it will be yours. For another chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. The winner may be contacted live on GB News, week commencing the 9th of February 2026. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
You've just missed a treat. Ellie was singing a little head off, wasn't she, Paul?
It was you
Yeah, in case you wonder what delight you're missing, I've put it on my Instagram.
No, you don't need to watch that, thank you.
Special.
Nobody's meant to know what goes on in the breaks.
I'd hire her
Little
to perform at
sing-song.
the World Cup.
Oh, that would be really lovely.
Half-time show. I'll
And the
take
thing
the
is
check for that as well.
There was one point where you were singing so high we couldn't hear you, but the dogs around the area were going like, it was lovely. It was really magnificent. Yeah.
Oh, dear.
So check it out online.
No, don't have to do that.
Special. Stephen GB News. Paul, should we talk about the World Cup tickets?
You know what? I'm getting a bit bored with it.
Oh, are you?
Because it it keeps riling me every time I think about it. It's just
very expensive.
Well, the World Cup we know is in America and Mexico and Canada in the summer and FIFA. God love them. What a wonderful organisation they are. They've decided to bring it to the people because that's what the World Cup and that's what football's all about. It's the people's game. So they've made the prices for the World Cup final.
Very affordable.
Yeah, £3,119. Now, we've got to remember that this is as cheap as they're going to get. This is not like when they've gone on their FIFA marketplace, when if you buy a ticket and then you can charge whatever you want, as long as FIFA get 15% out of it. That's out of the buyer and the seller. So £3,119, that's the supporter, that's the value tier.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what you get to see.
Honestly.
And I'll tell you, the value tier, there's not many of those. Surprise, surprise.
All right, so you have to go on to the supporter
standard tier. The supporter standard tier, which is £5,560, or the premium tier, $6,615. I just asked this question. How many true supporters of their country who go out there and let's say England, for example, because they've got a good chance of doing well, that will go out and watch the football and take their kids or whatever, will actually be able to afford those sorts of prices?
Millionaires.
With the flights and then the hotels. It's pricing probably 99.9% of all football supporters out of it. So it's all going to be rich people. There's not going to... What's the atmosphere going to be like in the stadium? Not that great, because they're just all clinking their money together. Is that a phrase?
Well,
it is now. Clinking their money together, but you know what I'm saying. I just don't like it at all. And so that's it. If you want to go and try and buy some tickets, good luck, but you've got to have a few quid if you want to go to one of the semi-final, the final, because it's just outrageous.
Talk about Luke Littler. A man with lots of money, but only on £50 a week.
Bless him.
He's on his pocket.
On his allowance.
Money.
Do you really think that?
Yeah, it was in the papers yesterday.
Must be true.
Yeah, 50 quid.
His parents are keeping him grounded.
Yes. And he's keeping him in the money.
Yeah. Well, he bought them a house for loads of money.
Yeah. But anyway, he's had a brilliant year. Although I mean, let's be honest, he's probably coming to the end of his career now because he's 18, so he's probably a bit over the hill. So he's going to win the world title. Well, is he? Is him and Luke Humphries? I think he is.
I think he is.
That's him last night. Opening round against Darius Labanauskas, averaged 101.54, 780s, 2-ton-plus finishes. He's a hot favourite. He's shortlisted for Sports Personality of the Year and the World Darts Championship. So it got underway last night and we'll run through. So we have a little break for Christmas and then continues, and then the World Final, which will be at the start of January. By the way, the other huge event, which is happening on December the 28th...
Is the Battle of
the Sexes.
Yeah.
Now, so we've got Arina Sabalenka is going to be playing against our great friend, the Australian, the crazy man, the one that always be shouting a lot, and that's Nick Kyrgios. So who do you want to win? I know, and don't say you don't care.
Ariana, obviously.
See, every woman surely would say that.
Yeah.
But then, if you're a man and then you say you want Nick Kyrgios to win...
You look sexist.
You look sexist.
So I think we just have to back Sabalenka.
So Sabalenka?
Oh, no.
I think Nick Kyrgios has got a real temper problem.
He has got a real temper problem.
So I don't want to... yeah. I think
Can
she
you imagine the
deserves
mood
to
he'd
win.
be in if he lost?
Oh,
so I said it'd be
goodness.
just easier all round if he wins.
You can't enable his temper. Can't enable
See,
it.
this is what this thing is all about.
But this is why the world is mad.
Yeah.
Women can support women because it's women supporting women.
Yeah.
But if the men support the men, then you look like you're a sexist misogynist.
Absolutely right. So...
The world's gone mad.
Kyrgios says it's a lose-lose.
Yeah.
Win or... No, this is what Sabalenka says. Sabalenka says it's a lose-lose for Kyrgios. It's a win-win for her. So whatever happens is a win. But then you've got other female tennis players who are saying, well, actually, you're now playing this game and it's some crazy exhibition. You shouldn't get involved in this. The BBC have been criticised for screening the event. Is it that bad? Is it that offensive to everyone? So they did it with Billie Jean King, didn't they, back in 1973 against Bobby Riggs.
She won, didn't she?
She did, but Billie Jean King said the reason she did it was for women's rights, whereas now this is just some crazy exhibition for money. But whatever, does it really matter?
I think it'll be a good watch.
I think so. Each get one serve, although Sabalenka's side of the court is slightly smaller than Nick Kyrgios's. So it'll be interesting, but is it that much of a disaster? Is that awful that it's happening?
I don't think it's awful, no, but I just think it's one of those things you just...
Yeah. You're
the
wrong.
point of it, really.
Yeah, well, it's maybe a bit...
Money is the theme here. Always comes down to
unfortunately, whenever we do the sport, it always seems to go back to money.
Money
So they can afford to go to the World Cup.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, it is.
Because money makes the world go round.
Yeah.
The world go round. The world go round.
Should we cheer ourselves up with a little bit of Winter Olympics?
Yeah, let's do that.
It
Because we
looks
do love
stunning,
the
doesn't it, in Cortina?
Let's have a look at Cortina. It is very beautiful. And also we have Eve Muirhead will be with us next Thursday, who is the chef de mission of Team GB at the Winter Olympics, gold medalist in the curling that we loved. So she's going to be with us.
What is it about curling that's so fascinating?
It's like darts. It's the same sort of thing. Once you start watching it, you're just in. And it's one that I would love to do it. I've done like a small version in London, which is not really the same. I want to do the brushes. I want to do the
I think you should go to the Winter Olympics.
Well, you know what?
Cheaper than the World Cup.
It is cheaper than the World Cup. I'm thinking of doing it. I'm thinking of going. But there's Cortina. Oh, I mean, it's an expensive place, Cortina, but the tickets are nowhere near as expensive as the World Cup. And we'll have some Winter Olympians will also join us as we head towards the Winter Olympics. It looks like a beautiful place, doesn't it, Cortina?
Good stuff.
What could you get out there for?
You know what? Not much. I mean, I've looked at the prices. You know, I'm going to do this, and this is going to be like that pricing where everything's going to go up through the roof now I'm mentioning, but you can probably get there and back for 100 quid. The hotels are probably going to be more expensive. Tickets, 100 quid.
I mean, it's not bad, is it?
Not bad.
It's not bad.
It'll be a nice little break as well.
Wouldn't it just? Start of February.
Look at that, it looks stunning.
In the mountains.
Any sort of Olympic thing that you go to, the atmosphere is phenomenal.
Absolutely.
Great events.
And don't forget, I have Konrad Bartelski's ski jacket for the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics 1980, which I will bring in next week.
He didn't want it back, did he?
No, he didn't want it back, but we're going to get him on the show again and say, do you want your jacket back? And he's going, no, I'm good, thanks. Because it's got some fur that is very questionable.
Oh, right.
So I'm really not sure what it came from. Probably some extinct animal. But anyway, it's a wonderful jacket. Lake Placid Olympics 1980.
Would be
must be 30 quid. What do you reckon? Yeah, get a few.
Oh, I think
yeah.
You think so? What, 40, 50?
No, at least $1,000.
No.
$1,000, you reckon?
Really?
Yeah.
Well, after Pat Jennings sold his shirt for 36 grand,
that's what I'm
surely
saying.
Konrad Bartelski's skiing jacket for the opening ceremony would be worth more than £30.
It'd pay for your trip to the Winter Olympics.
Well,
Wouldn't
there
it
you go.
just?
Think of that.
Very nice too.
Got me very excited for the weekend. Thank you very much for that.
Welcome, thank you.
Now, do stay with us still to come. The King is set to speak about his cancer diagnosis as part of this year's Stand Up to Cancer campaign. We're going to be talking about that with Claire and Nigel. That's next.
First, so, if you want a bit of holiday sun, here's the forecast for Europe.
I hope we haven't forgotten anything.
Travel insurance, I tick that box.
Yeah, but remember what you forgot last year.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
After some recent downpours, the eastern Mediterranean is turning a lot drier and brighter through the weekend. Meanwhile, off the west coast of Africa, some rain will be drifting southwards, so it could be quite showery in the Canaries on Saturday. Some showers also likely over the Balearics, particularly for Ibiza. Largely fine for Italy and some sunshine returning to Greece, although with the breeze coming down from the north, it'll stay fairly cool here. We should see the sunny skies returning to Tenerife through Sunday and Monday.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
5 hosts, 5 opinions, 5 fearless debates, 5 unfiltered takes on the day's news.
5 reasons not to be anywhere else on Saturday night.
This is the Saturday 5. You got me good there. Britain's biggest Saturday night TV show.
It's not a bad brand.
Yeah. Uncensored.
Very, very racy tonight.
On the unpredictable.
What did she say? Can you translate it for us?
And always entertaining.
And how can a country go from being led by William Wallace Saturday nights from 6 p.m. only on GB News, the People's Channel.
Britain's news channel.
You're going to want to stay tuned, trust me.
Nana Queer, weekends from 3 p.m.
And I'm going to start with you. Talk to me about autism and why you got involved with this, because some people don't know the story as to why you set up Anna Kennedy Online.
Well, I have 2 sons. They're now 32 and 35, and I'm proud to say that my eldest son, Patrick, is in Stockholm at the moment on his own, so that's like a big step for him to go on holiday, and he's loving it. So they both were diagnosed fairly young, and the support at the time was just non-existent.
Yeah.
So we had to set up our own school, and then we set up a vocational college for my youngest son, Angelo.
Now, how do you know that they're autistic? Is there a blood test? Is it something where you have a list of symptoms? Or because some people say, oh, I've got ADHD and this and that, and I think sometimes people conflate it with autism. Are there parallels with the two, or are they totally separate? Because it's confusing.
They're very different from each other, both Patrick and Angelo. So Angelo was diagnosed fairly early at 2.5, 3. He passed all the milestones and then he just lost everything. His speech, eye contact, didn't want to be touched, didn't even want me to hug him at the time, running from one end of the room to the other, squealing, and it was just like, what is going on? And as a mum, you're thinking, what have I done wrong? Have I done something wrong?
Oh, no.
Patrick was diagnosed fairly early again, but he was premature, and I thought the difficulties that he was having because he was 11 weeks premature, I thought, is it because he had a bit of a difficult start, in and out of hospital, and then he was diagnosed at 4, and then we found out when he was 7, when he was struggling at school. He was finding school difficult, being bullied. So it's an autism spectrum condition, and if you feel that there might be, something that I'm not quite sure, I can't get a handle on it, please go and see your GP and just ask for your child to be assessed. But the difficulty at the minute is the waiting list is so long to get a diagnosis.
GB News, the People's Channel.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Cates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
You're like, if you're legitimately, you sign up to deliver takeaway food, and then you subcontract your job to someone here illegally for cash, what role does an ID card play?
So, with all your experience in government, security minister, other jobs in government, it's not going to stop the boats, or at least even slow the boats.
This is not the way to stop the boats. You need a proper deterrent.
Oh, well, there you go. That's former Security Minister Damian Hines talking on Chopper's political podcast, which you can watch in full on gbnews.com or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Yeah, well, we're joined now by Nigel and Claire. Morning, you two. We're going to go through the papers, but first let's react to that little clip there from Damian Hines. He's saying that digital IDs won't stop the boats because of the way the gig economy works. He says there needs to be a real deterrent. What do you think of that?
He's right. I think for the government to suggest that digital IDs will stop illegal immigration, for one thing, is just utter nonsense. And if you are an employer that doesn't particularly mind who you take on, you're not really going to ask for the documents that you're supposed to ask for. We already have a system. The Home Office has a checking service for people to ensure there's a right to work. Some employers are just never going to use that, so it's going to make no difference.
Fred, I agree with that. I just don't see how it can deal with immigration for those reasons that we have a system already in place. If employers turn around and aren't going to use it, they're not going to bother about digital ID either. Yeah. And so while I'm not against digital ID, provided A, it's voluntary, and B, it offers something. When we carry ID around because we want something, a passport because we want to go abroad, a driving licence to drive. I certainly don't want a bit of ID just to walk around my own country. Mm-hmm. But if there are benefits from it, which is what the government are promising, then it should be fine. But it has to be voluntary.
The reasoning keeps changing.
Yeah,
it does. It does. I'm afraid. Yeah,
this is the issue.
Well, it probably won't happen. I mean, Tony Blair tried it. It never really got off the ground because of opposition. I think this might go the same way.
Yeah, and it's going to cost a couple of billion quid.
Yeah.
Which is not good news at the moment because, Nigel, when we look at the GDP, the economy's shrunk in the third quarter of the year.
It has, yeah. So we are. If that was in monetary terms, it would be just under $3 billion down that the economy shrunk. I mean, the real problem is Labour always wanted to use growth as being the way towards prosperity, and that was their idea.
They planned everything on that.
Well, it's
they
the
did.
mission of this government,
and it didn't, and certainly it's not happening at the moment. But we have got things to blame for it. We've got COVID that we can't forget how much money we spent out on COVID. The war in Ukraine has made life more difficult, and also Brexit. Brexit still has an effect, and that has made the economy contract.
Yes, but well, fair enough. But you need economic policies that counter that, then, don't you? And encourage businesses and small employers and all that sort of thing.
But then we're back to taxes. And yes, we do. I mean, in an ideal world, we'd be reducing taxes now. We'd be pumping money into the economy, which would create growth by creating jobs. Yeah. All those things would be happening. But we haven't. But we have. Thank you. I'm about to apply for the job. But at the moment, we just don't have the money. And the first thing to do is actually plug the gaps that we've got in the economy.
I'm surprised it's taken this long in the morning for Brexit to be mentioned, because it seems to be the go-to argument for pretty much anybody that disagrees with Brexit, that it's caused untold harm. You know, it's going to take a while before we see the benefits. When you're a member of something for such a long period of time, it is going to inevitably take longer.
When are these benefits going to actually show themselves?
Well, I don't know, because I'm not going to make promises that I can't keep, which is not what the Labour Party's doing, because they said they were going to, you know, increase growth in this country.
I mean, look, you're a Brexiteer and you voted for sovereignty, and I respect that, because if you wanted Britain to make its own laws, you got what you wanted. So that's fine. But equally, there was always going to be economic damage, and growth would be about 4% if we hadn't had Brexit.
Do you not think, though, if we had more incentives for people to start businesses in this country and not put untold burden on employment, for example, the Employment Rights Bill, which is putting enormous red tape around businesses, especially small businesses, increasing council tax, increasing business rates, look at all of the hospitality sector, pubs, restaurants that are going to be hit incredibly hard. So you're not going to increase your own productivity in your own country, which is the whole point, that we'll be able to go in our own country and be able to increase what we bring in.
I mean, if you're taking pubs, one of the reasons that pubs are facing a problem is because the 40% discount from COVID, so there was a hangover from COVID, the 40% discount they were getting is being phased out by April next year. Now, that was always going to happen. The idea that this was going to be a permanent kind of discount was for the birds. It was purely an emergency measure to help them during COVID, and so pubs can't really complain that this is coming to an end where they always knew it was going to.
Because all of the rest of their costs have gone up. To employ somebody to pick up beer glasses, to wash pots in the kitchen, is going to cost them so much more. Also, the energy. I was about to say, the energy bills are enormous, and if we want our pubs
you don't want us to go towards net zero, which would bring energy bills down in the long run.
It wouldn't bring them down.
But not immediately.
I mean, we're going to bang my head on the table.
Well, 25 years is pushing it a bit. It should start clicking in in the 2030s. But I appreciate people don't want to spend the money now.
And what else are pubs used for? They are really good community hubs, especially for loneliness. And
OK, so let's give pubs a load of money, and perhaps we'll take it from the farmers, or perhaps we'll take it from pension.
I'm suggesting that maybe you keep those discounts in and not increase their corporation tax rates. How about that for a start?
Because they're a business, and so all businesses are facing the kind of
an arbitrary rule for an industry which doesn't follow a typical
but if you were a gambler, you would complain about the gambling taxes that have gone up. So whatever tax the tax you get hit by, the group that's hit moans about it, and the fact that they ruled out...
But with good reason.
But isn't the difference on this that, yes, it costs the economy and the taxpayer to maintain a 40% discount. However, it's better to get 60% of all those rates than none at all, which is what's going to happen if these pubs go out of business.
Yeah, but the point I'm making is that because...
But the pubs are going to go down.
Yeah.
Well,
Not all of them.
No, exactly. Some will go down in the same way that some farms will be hit by the inheritance tax. The difficulty that Rachel Reeves had was by ruling out the big taxes, income tax and VAT, which I think she shouldn't have done, by the way.
There's no need to, was there?
Well, I think she shouldn't have done that, because what's happened is specific groups get hit and they squeal about it, understandably. I mean, I don't blame them for that. But why should we make exceptions for all these different groups?
You're not going to defend farmers' tax, are you?
Well, yeah, well, I would actually, because I think that...
I mean, just wrong.
I mean, here we go again. It's
Absolutely
another...
wrong.
I mean, we could do it a different way. We could actually tax farmers what everybody else pays. They're looking at a 20% inheritance tax rate compared to 40% for everybody else. We could do that and raise the level that they actually pay it. So it would say £5 or £10 million farm. But again, it's a specific group who then scream about it. But yes, you needed to raise that money.
Yeah, because without farmers, we wouldn't have a Christmas meal on our table, for example. You wouldn't have your potatoes, you wouldn't have carrots, horse feed, hay, things like that. All of those things that we rely on in this country.
All right, well, let's move
just
on.
wrong.
And we could keep going. I just think you two must have a couple of dispatch boxes over your kitchen island. In the Daily Star, runner way in a manger.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's a sort of a little light relief. This is a cracking picture of a nativity scene, so a full-size figure nativity scene, which is in Italy. And people were stopping to look and saying, well, that's a beautiful scene. And somebody, an eagle-eyed viewer, passerby, noticed that somebody was standing there, they appeared to be moving. So you have a migrant who was on the run from police, inserted himself into the nativity scene and stood like a statue, but unfortunately sort of started to wobble as you would, and has been rounded up by the police, put in prison to stop him from roaming the streets again whilst they look for a deportation order. But I just think it's one of those sort of classic moments, hiding in plain sight in a nativity scene.
Well, pretending to be a wise man is actually quite good, but it wasn't very wise to actually then move when the local mayor was walking by.
And he wasn't exactly dressed up. He didn't have sort of robes on and a little angel costume or something like that. I mean, he was just wearing his normal street clothes. He did stand out a little bit.
He did.
But, they will try anything.
It's like something from Only Fools and Horses.
It is.
It really is. It really is.
Absolutely cracking.
Nigel, let's have a look at superflu, shall we? It's hit the UK.
Yeah, and obviously this applies to the doctor's strike coming up next week.
Do you think they'll go ahead with that?
Well, we've just been talking about that. I think they should call it off, and if they've got any compassion, they will call it off.
Doesn't sound good, though, does it, when the front page of the Times are speaking to the deputy leader of the BMA, saying, I find it difficult to see how we can accept this offer, considering there's absolutely nothing on pay.
No, I get that, and that there is nothing on pay, and they had a big pay rise last year, which I did support, and I don't support the huge pay rise they're demanding this year. I think the flu crisis, given we haven't reached the peak yet, and it's likely to be much worse come next week when they're on strike, that at this point what they should do is postpone it and say, right, we won't go on strike until the flu crisis is over, and then we'll go back and talk again to West Streeting.
Yeah, or just not go on strike at all.
Well, I know you don't agree with any strike.
Yeah, people's health is in their hands. And
but postponing it would be compassionate, wouldn't it?
I think absolutely they need to postpone it. I think they need to not strike at all. They've had an enormous pay increase, which is more than a lot of sectors have had. But also, I think public sympathy for resident doctors has now gone completely downhill. Yeah. And it's their own fault. We would have supported them previously.
Should we just have a look at, just to finish off, just very briefly, Nigel, in the Telegraph, a woman who was shoplifting in a wig has been jailed and banned from wearing wigs.
Yes, she has, yes. Well, she's banned from wearing any hair pieces when she goes shopping. Oh. And the question is, how do you police that? I mean, do you actually go up and say, excuse me, madam, is that your own hair you're wearing, or is that somebody else's?
Yeah, we've got a picture of this woman.
It's a cracking picture. It was she was sentenced at Basingstoke magistrates, and she is if she is told to leave any store in Hampshire and Surrey, she must leave immediately and not be abusive.
Oh,
those are one of the conditions.
To all of us.
Well, it's just basic standard, isn't it?
Nigel and Claire, thank you very much for your company this morning. It's been fun.
Yeah,
thank
you. To see you. Right, let's get a check on the weather for you with Alex Deakin.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Morning. Welcome to your latest weather update from the Met Office here on GB News. A grey day for a large part of England, but elsewhere we should see some spells of sunshine, a few showers into northwest Scotland, particularly this afternoon. Now, we do start fairly dull in this zone. There's a line of rain and drizzle from northeast England down across the Midlands into East Wales and parts of central southern England. That's moving away, so parts of Wales turning a bit brighter. Good spells of sunshine for Northern Ireland and much of Scotland. As I mentioned, a few showers in the far northwest. Some of that patchy rain getting to Lincolnshire down to the home counties by the afternoon. Still quite mild here. Elsewhere, temperatures close to average, 7 to 10 degrees, but probably feeling a bit fresher than recent days. But at least there should be quite a bit of sunshine this afternoon. That sunshine will turn into clear skies through the night. Staying fairly overcast, though, for East Anglia and the southeast. Some rain and drizzle here for the evening rush hour, but elsewhere, most places dry and clear, bar those showers getting into northwest Scotland. With the clear skies, though, temperatures will be falling away. A colder night tonight than many of us have been used to. The rain and drizzle over eastern parts of England will slowly fizzle out through the evening, so generally becoming dry. A few more of those showers getting into western Scotland, maybe the odd one for Northern Ireland too, but many areas dry and clear. Might turn a bit misty through the night across southern counties of England, one or two fog patches, and certainly a colder night. And yes, there may even be some pockets of frost across parts of the south to start Saturday morning. A chilly start then, again, certainly compared to many mornings so far this month, but a bright, fine day for most of England and Wales tomorrow. There'll be some winter sunshine around. Mist and fog may take a few hours to clear in the south. For Scotland, though, as you can see, we are looking at more rain coming in, and that rain also slowly creeping its way into Northern Ireland. That rain likely to turn heavy and more persistent as we go through Saturday night and into Sunday, and push a little further south into parts of Wales too. Bye for now.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Thank you, Britain, for making us the fastest growing news website in the UK. We're truly humbled, and we couldn't have done it without you.
Good morning, this is the latest AI travel news from gbnews.com. The M8 is restricted westbound between junction 13 and 14 due to a road incident. Drivers should approach cautiously. Delays are also on the A470 southbound from Nantgarv to Corriton. In Cheshire, expect congestion on the M6 southbound between junction 20A and 19, with 40-minute delays resolving by 10:15 this morning. In Buckinghamshire, a lane closure on the M40 northbound exit slip at junction 2 is expected to resolve by 2:15 this afternoon. And on the trains, Avanti West Coast and cross-country services are experiencing disruptions through Coventry. For more travel news, go to gbnews.com.
This is your chance to become our biggest cash prize winner to date. £85,000 in totally tax-free cash could be making its way from our bank account to yours. It would be like having over £7,000 per month extra to play with, each month for a whole year. That could be you, safe in the knowledge that 2026 is on us. For another chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message, or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk now?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
The fact has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up?
About 10. So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's political podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Good morning. Another blow for the Chancellor.
Fears over Rachel Reeves's budget are blamed for a 0.1% drop in GDP for the month of October.
Earlier, we spoke to the Shadow Chief Secretary to the Treasury.
It's a really bad way to end what's been a really bad year for the economy in the UK.
The economy has now grown just once in 7 months, but Rachel Reeves tells us she's determined to defy the forecast. But can she?
Britain is told to brace for war as NATO warns an armed conflict with Russia looms on Europe's doorstep.
We are Russia's next target. Too many don't feel the urgency, and too many believe the time is on our side. It is not.
The NHS is plunged into the worst-case scenario as the surge in superflu cases threatens to wreak havoc on the health service over Christmas.
King Charles records a groundbreaking video about his cancer battle that's set to be broadcast later today.
And you're a generous lot. Britain's made more than £18 million worth of donations on Just Giving this year, despite those record-high pressures on the cost of living.
A brighter day for many today. There will be some winter sunshine in places. There is more rain to come for some parts of the country as we head into the weekend. If you've got plans, you'll want to know what the weather's doing, join me later for a full update.
Just gone 9 o'clock. I'm Stephen Dixon.
And I'm Ellie Costello, and this is GB News Breakfast. Now, you're not just imagining it. Pop music has become more moody in the past 50 years. Apparently, it used to be a lot more jolly and happy back in the day. If you think of, like, the Village People's YMCA, is a good one. Man in the Mirror, Michael Jackson.
Yes. I thought Man in the Mirror was a bit miserable.
Did you?
I think songs are more about me than us. I think they're all about me doing this and me that, not the collective sharing of songs.
But apparently there are much more negative words now associated with pop songs, like bad, cry, wrong, miss, kill and hurt. So more common over time that we've become more miserable, according to our music choices.
Well, we need to cheer up a bit, don't we, with our music? You musicians out there, give us something to smile about.
Yeah, we do. We do need some happy tunes, I think.
Yeah.
I think there is a need for that. Music's just got so bad. It's all TikTok songs now, isn't it? All trending, TikTok rubbish. Yeah.
When was the last song you heard you could sing along to on the radio?
Taylor Swift.
OK, apart from Taylor Swift.
Not
many.
Oh, well, Shakin' Stevens.
Oh, how old's he, though? He's our age.
He's older.
He's older than us.
He's older than us. His Christmas one, what is it?
Oh, Merry Christmas. They're 40 years old.
Oh, the Christmas ones. Yeah, but again, you need the old one, the golden oldies.
You do need the old one. And Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas.
Yeah, but
can't help but sing along to that.
New songs haven't got sing-along factors, have they?
No, not in the same way.
Apart from the Ariana Grande Christmas one, that's quite good.
Have all the songs been written, though? There's only so many notes on the keyboard. Have they all been done?
Oh, no.
It's all over.
No, Chris. Don't be so miserable.
OK. I'm a bit gloomy. The economy's not doing very well.
Well, exactly that.
Let's kick it, because that is the breaking news this morning, isn't it? That, I mean, it's the third quarter of the year and the economy's dipped again.
This is bad news for Rachel Reeves. The forecast had been a 0.1% increase in the third quarter. Instead, we're down 0.1%. It means for the past 7 months there's been 1 month of growth.
Oh, dear.
In 7 months. Rachel Reeves, her team says they're determined to defy the forecast on growth and create good jobs so everyone's better off. Well, it is Christmas.
Well, she has defied the forecast. The forecast was 0%.
The wrong way.
Yeah.
Correct. I mean, it is. We can hope for a miracle at Christmas, possibly. But this isn't great.
The government's core mission is growth. So what are they going to do?
Well, growth goes back to the election last year. They're going to spend the proceeds of growth on people who need it most. The growth hasn't come. And we saw, politically, in my world, we saw Rachel Reeves on Tuesday tying herself really tightly to Keir Starmer on the choices made in that budget, saying we did it all together, we met 3 times a week. She did that because that's a political shield around her, because it means you've come for me, Rachel Reeves, you're coming for the Prime Minister too. But it's serious. There'll be some good news next week, probably, with a cut in interest rates by 0.25%. Good news for mortgage owners, house owners this Christmas. But a real worry, I think, and activity slowed going to the budget, mainly caused by Jaguar Land Rover not making as many cars as they thought after their outage from the IT problem.
What are we to do then with all of this? Because it's not, we talk about the economy almost as a separate entity, don't we? But actually, the other big story today is the fact that we've got Mark Rutte, Secretary General of NATO, saying, look, war with Russia is a real possibility for Europe. We need to be on guard. Al Khan's, the Armed Forces Minister, is basically going along with that and saying we need to do more. That's going to require, if we want to avoid war, then we need to spend a lot more money. We can't do it when the economy's in this state.
We can collectively as NATO. So we're not alone against Russia. We're with NATO against Russia. And with NATO, we literally outgun Russia, and that's good news. The Bart de Weber, you know who he is, don't you, Steve? Bart is the PM of Belgium. He's in town today.
Oh, is he in town today?
Yes, in town today, and they want to unfreeze Russian assets of 140 billion
That's
euros.
Interesting.
And spend that money on helping Ukraine. But you know, Karen Leavitt, Trump's spokesman, she said that Trump's extremely frustrated with both sides of this war. I think we're being cut free from America at the moment, and we have to stand on our own 2 feet. It's a bit like in the early 1930s when we saw an isolationist US leaving Britain to its own devices with our European allies. That's where we are, and we've got to step up. Al Khan's in today's Telegraph saying in terms we can't rely on being protected by America. It's up to us as a continent to do it ourselves.
Well, there's pressures then, isn't there, to spend more on defence?
Yes.
Where's the money going to come from?
Well, somewhere. I mean, and this is now a priority. That's why they cut the aid budget to 0.2% of GDP. Monday, the PM goes to Berlin for a chat with European allies. That's a big deal. But behind the scenes, I'm told, things are moving very fast on getting to a solution on Ukraine. It looks like the Donbass region, that's the word we should be aware of now at GB News, that area is contested. 15% not controlled by Russia. It looks like that might be left alone and become an economic neutral zone.
A demilitarised zone.
Yes, correct. We've seen that in Korea, that neither Russia nor Ukraine control. So we're getting towards a solution. But what does it mean for the UK? It could mean boots on the ground, our boys and girls on the ground in Ukraine. We understand not fighting Russia or going near conflict zones, but coordinating military movements. But again, a lot to talk about, and the government's got to explain why that might happen to our viewers and listeners, because they're not sure.
Yeah. Is Trump going to be on side with any of this? Because he seems to be just frustrated by what Europe is doing, this idea that they're sort of doing something on the sidelines, almost sort of running parallel, rather than trying to work directly with him to formulate a solution.
I mean, the key thing is the term security guarantees. That's what Ukraine wants. What that really means is will America provide hardware in the air and elsewhere to stop Russia attacking? That's what the concern is.
OK. Christopher Hope, thank you very much.
Right, at 9:08, cases of superflu are on the rise. The NHS saying it is now the worst-case scenario.
Yeah, there's been a 55% jump in flu cases over the last week, with the Health Secretary Wes Streeting appealing to the British Medical Association to call off resident doctor strikes that are due to take place next week.
Yeah, it's a grim situation. The concern with this, actually, Chris is still here, when it comes to the superflu issue, as much as Wes Streeting's got a lot on his plate at the moment with the strikes and all the rest of it for next week, it could be a case for the NHS that we might not even see a peak of this till after Christmas, till in the new year, which is just actually a frightening situation.
It is terrifying for many people, particularly those who are vulnerable to this. Yesterday, Number 10 warned that these strikes starting later this week will hurt and harm people, ruin Christmas for patients and for NHS nurses and doctors mainly, who have to take up the slack. I think it seems to me they're getting towards some form of solution on the BMA strike, because coming at the same time as this flu is a complete disaster for so many people.
Do you think we could see a situation where they potentially postpone the strikes? Because they've got the deputy leader of the BMA speaking on the front page of the Times, I think it is this morning, saying, well, this offer has nothing to do with pay, so I can't see how we're going to agree to it. But they will know, in the eyes of the public, them going on strike next week when we've got this super flu surging is a really bad look.
I think they overreached the BMA on this. I think they should have gone near a strike at Christmas time. It's so emotional for so many people. Loved ones in hospital. Doctors want a break at Christmas. They can't get it. They want a 28, 29% pay rise after something similar last year. It doesn't make any sense. I think they are tearing through the emotional capital we invest in our health service and just frittering away on this rather desperate pay grab. I think, yeah, you're right. I think they'll say, right, now isn't the time, but we just defer that to come back later. But they still want more money.
Yeah, they do.
All right. Chris, thanks very much indeed. It's time now for the Great British Giveaway, talking about money, but this is your chance to get your hands on a massive prize. It's £85,000 in cold, hard, tax-free cash.
This is your chance to become our biggest cash prize winner to date with an incredible £85,000 to be won. That's right, £85,000 in totally tax-free cash could be making its way from our bank account to yours. It would be like having over £7,000 per month extra to play with each month for a whole year. That could be you, with your feet up, safe in the knowledge that 2026 is on us. £85,000 is a massive amount of money, and it could be yours. For another chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message, or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge, or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrants must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. The winner may be contacted live on GB News, week commencing the 9th of February 2026. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Yes, good luck. Lots of you getting in touch today. We're talking about Christmas lights and how to put them up properly on your tree. What's the best technique? Jeff says, hi, I love the show. Top tip on Christmas lights is scrunch your eyes when you're done. Right. And you'll see if the lights are filling the tree with no gaps. That does kind of work, actually. Look at the tree over there. I see what you mean, yeah. Right. Gary says, morning, guys. If there's two of you, why doesn't one person hold the light steady and the second person rotate the tree? So you just spin the tree.
Yeah, but how do you... Well, if you've got a fake tree, that might work.
Yeah, I suppose. Richard says, loving the show this morning. You're right, we need to cheer up. Please ask Stephen to tell us a Christmas joke and make us smile for Christmas.
Why are they putting the pressure on me?
I don't know.
Who's that one?
From Richard.
Oh, Richard. How does good King Wenceslas like his pizza? Deep pan, crisp and even.
Crisp and even. Yeah, very good. Very, very good.
Good as that can get.
Very good. And one from Keith saying, it's very simple. This Labour government was a protest vote. We're now paying the price for that. It's the Tories' fault for letting us down so very badly. Oh, and one on anxiety at schools, because we were talking about that, weren't we, earlier? Nicola says, I work in an exam office and the amount of anxiety throughout the year groups is off the scale. We have to bend over backwards to accommodate these students. They want to sit at the front, then they want to sit at the back, they want to move to a different room, they want to sit on their own, they have movement breaks, they have rest breaks, they have different coloured breaks. The list goes on.
Yeah, you just, frankly, shouldn't give in to it. You shouldn't give in to it.
You're enabling the...
You are enabling it.
You
shouldn't enable bad behaviour, should you?
Shouldn't enable bad behaviour.
I'm afraid too many of us do that all over the place.
Anyway, keep those views coming in. It's nice to hear from you. gbnews.com/you'll say.
Still to come. And on a very positive note...
Yes,
charity donations, right? It turns out that we've given this year a record amount of money away to help others, because we're a good-hearted nation. We're going to talk to the president of Just Giving in a moment.
Decisions made in Washington aren't just shaping America, they're shaping Britain too. From migration to global security, from crime to health. Whatever happens in the White House today
will be felt in your town or city tomorrow.
That's why The Late Show is live from Washington, D.C.
Cutting through the politics to show you what it all means for Britain.
The Late Show live every night at midnight.
Only on GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Exciting news. Every Friday, my Patrick Christie's Tonight Show is going to have a twist to it. We're welcoming some special guests. You. That's right, on Fridays I'm going to be doing my show in front of a live studio audience because this show is about you and what you have to say. It's going to be the same big debates, same big topics, same big opinions, but every Friday night at 9 p.m. you are invited to come on down to Patrick Christie's Tonight to be a part of the action. Only on GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation,
no,
isn't it?
No,
Because the failure is...
You're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m. only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's political podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's political podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Britain was once the envy of the world. But look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m.
only on GB News. No matter the state it's in, this is our nation. Join me, Jacob Rees-Mogg, for a genuine, honest discussion on where we have been, where we are going, and where we are with the people who set the direction. Tune in to State of the Nation every Monday to Thursday, 8 to 9 o'clock. Only on GB News.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Cates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Welcome back to Breakfast. Now, the cost of living means that many people's budgets are squeezed. But this is a great story, and it's going to make you smile today. It hasn't stopped Britons from giving really generously to charity this year.
Yeah, Just Giving has had £18 million in donations so far this year, and it's not over yet.
Well, this marks the platform's biggest year yet. And we can speak to the president of Just Giving now, Pascal Harvey. Very good morning to you, Pascal. This is wonderful news.
It is wonderful, and every year we're just blown away by how generous people are across the UK, and this year is no different. I will correct one thing. We've had over 18 million donations made on Just Giving, and we've had hundreds of millions of donations made across the year for good causes. So the data shows some real standouts like Leeds, which ranks among the most generous cities, and donations there was high enough to equal every resident giving nearly £7 each.
Wow. What sort of causes, what sort of issues are raising the most money?
Yeah, it's really interesting when you dig into the data. I mean, health and medical research is always number one. It's followed closely by animal welfare and children's or education charities, and then that's followed usually by mental health, homelessness and environmental issues.
Do you think British people are just generally generous in spirit?
Actually, I truly believe, and I'm blown away every year as to how generous they are. I mean, that is the biggest story, that generosity is everywhere. People all over the UK are going above and beyond to support causes close to their hearts.
It's interesting, though, isn't it, that, I know it's the business model and it's hugely successful, But do you think, is there an issue with the fact that we are now so reliant on charity for so much good work in this country, rather than it being funded other ways?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, I guess the flip side of that is that despite the economic pressures that we're seeing, people are still showing incredible kindness. And again, it really proves that generosity is deeply rooted in the UK culture.
Does gift aid make a big difference to donations when people tick that box to add gift aid?
Absolutely does. It makes a huge difference for all charities across the UK when people take the time to tick that box.
Yeah, it's sort of 20-odd%, isn't it? Which makes
Certainly adds up.
a big chunk. I mean, what I like about these sort of models that we have now with things like Just Giving is that it does allow ordinary people to raise, even if it's just a modest amount of money, but it's a very easy way of doing it, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, as part of our end-of-year campaign, we sort of crunched the numbers and we found out all sorts of fun stats about giving and fundraising this year. And it showed that the generosity came from every corner of society, sort of across all ages and backgrounds. And we saw that the Davids and Sarahs of the world, of the UK, were the most generous names of 2025. So that was fascinating.
Oh.
And I guess as well, with a platform like yours, it just encourages and inspires more people to come up with their own fundraising challenges, so the circle kind of continues.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm so fortunate that every day I can completely blown away by the passion and generosity of people doing incredible things, from skydiving to ultra marathons. But you know, whether it is an ultra marathon, it doesn't matter. You know, even the small acts of generosity can have a huge impact.
Yeah, I think, and that's the key to it all. Even if people could only give £1, it only takes a few people to do that, and it makes a difference. Pascal, it's really good to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks,
Have a good
Pascal.
Christmas. Thank you.
And it's a lovely story at this time of year as well, because so many people want to give back at Christmas, don't they? Lots of people do make their donation as charity this time of year.
Yeah.
So it's the right time to do it.
It is.
Very good.
Anyway, talking of generous, kind souls, Alex Armstrong and Miriam Cates are here at 9:30. Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Morning. What have you got coming up?
Well, we'll, of course, be talking about the economy.
Yeah.
Because we were promised growth, weren't we, time and time again, but it looks like it's going in the opposite direction. We've also got some very good guests, haven't we?
We have. So we've got Zia Youssef up first, just after 9:30, to talk about whether or not the UK is now in recession and what would Reform doing that. But we'd also got John Redwood, now Lord John Redwood, or soon to be, to talk about being promoted to the House of Lords and also what he would do about the economy. Of course, he's been around since Thatcher's day, so he's seen a lot.
This flu stuff, right? What do you guys think about this? Because I'm getting to the point where every year we hear NHS crisis, flu's at record high. But, I mean, is it not anticipated when the population grows, of course, more people are going to come down with flu?
Yeah,
therefore, is that what it is?
But it's the type of virus, whether it's mutated, just means it's more virulent.
Yeah. I just feel like every year we're in some kind of flu crisis. We never are prepared for it. The strikes are bad news. It's very gloomy, isn't it? It's a very gloomy Britain. We need to inject a little bit of fun and happiness, which is what we're going to
try and do that.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Yes.
So what else have you got for us coming up in the programme?
Well, we've got this exclusive poll as well about illegal migration. I can guarantee you it's going to blow people's socks off. We won't tell you the numbers yet, but it's basically about women's safety and how the British public feel about illegal migration in Britain. And we've also got a victory for the countryside. A story we did here not that long ago. Mo Fisher from the Countryside Alliance is coming in, and we're going to tell GB News about this big victory we've won.
And that will cheer everyone up.
Yeah.
I look forward to that.
That's all after your weather.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Morning. Welcome to your latest weather update from the Met Office here on GB News. A grey day for a large part of England, but elsewhere we should see some spells of sunshine, a few showers into northwest Scotland, particularly this afternoon. Now, we do start fairly dull in this zone. There's a line of rain and drizzle from northeast England down across the Midlands into East Wales and parts of central southern England. That's moving away, so parts of Wales turning a bit brighter. Good spells of sunshine for Northern Ireland and much of Scotland. As I mentioned, a few showers in the far northwest. Some of that patchy rain getting to Lincolnshire down to the home counties by the afternoon. Still quite mild here. Elsewhere, temperatures close to average, 7 to 10 degrees, but probably feeling a bit fresher than recent days. But at least there should be quite a bit of sunshine this afternoon. That sunshine will turn into clear skies through the night. Staying fairly overcast, though, for East Anglia and the south east. Some rain and drizzle here for the evening rush hour.